You know, visual sight gags don't work when people can't see you. Well, no, you couldn't. You couldn't be seen. But now we can. Now I can see you. Oh, let me not do that. Let me not do that before everybody else gets invited to the White House. Well. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, the Grand Master of IT, aka your favorite streamer's favorite IT guy, and it's time once again for Tech Talk Thursdays for April 13, 2023. I am joined this week and every week, barely. Apparently they're having technical issues in Wakanda, which is not great. That's not good. All that vibranium and they having a technical difficulty? Maybe it's like magnets. Maybe it's like magnets that just drew them together. But of course, that's Kevin. It's your boy Kevin, the building. And of course, as Ruin pointed out, Sin is looking different today. You always changing shit up. It's our West Coast Sin. Verge conflict is in the building. Yeah, I was gonna point that out. It's like, y'all really have it. Oh. Oops.
That covered it up the last time.
Mm-hmm. It was like paradoxical.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up again.
Oh no.
I forgot to hit a button. This is what happens. This is what happens.
Just dropping knowledge the entire time. You didn't hear a word of it.
I know. I'm just keeping it all for myself.
God bless you, Ruin, because we would not have
never known, because I can hear him just fine. Not somebody asking again, is there a TweetDeck like desktop app for Mastodon? Like the web, the web version. The web version of the Mastodon website is the TweetDeck. It's a bummer, sure. I get that. PWAs suck. They suck. Well, actually no, they're great up until like you either have a memory constrained PC or you're trying to edit YouTube video, or you're trying to upload YouTube videos and you have a profile that watches YouTube videos, and you have a profile that uploads YouTube videos. Not sure why you would want those, but I do. And yeah, here we are. I think I actually did that because I wanted to put family videos on the Marcus Summers one. But yeah, that never really happened. I was like, yeah, I'm good. So how have y'all gentlemen been?
okay for the most part.
No, I've been busy, Major. I think you know what I've been up to. Getting some things configured, getting some things set up. We're gonna be ready next week.
That's awesome.
Everything's gonna be set up and ready to go.
That's awesome. Of course, you know, what we're just talking about is getting hooked up with Major's house. Got him hooked up with some VPS stuff, some Docker stuff. You know the vibes. You know what we do.
The brand is strong.
The brand
go ahead and
is strong.
Go ahead and shout out those services. We got a Nextcloud. We got a Mastodon instance.
Yeah.
We got a GitLab running.
Mm-hmm.
All hosted on VPS. In my,
I haven't even checked the
infrastructure.
performance of that because I'm really curious about that GitLab instance. I mean that GitLab container.
There's it's taking up a smooth 20%. I had to log in and make sure that nothing funny was going on, but it's a constant 20%. So that's and I'm not even using it for anything just yet. There's no code on it. No code on it yet, but so we're going to keep an eye on it.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah. Let's see. For me, streaming, I'm trying to sign up another customer. Of course, some of y'all may know who it is, but I'm gonna keep it under wraps. Keep it under wraps because that's what we do. Discretion is key here. If they want to announce, then they can announce. But I'm not gonna put their business out there in the streets, especially if it backfires and I don't get the business. I'm pretty sure I will.
Yeah.
But yeah, just work. Just trying to get some work done here. Getting it really. I'm torn. I'm in this weird space where I'm like down with capital. Like I'm like down with capitalism. Let's not do this. Let's get rid of capitalism. But as I'm sitting in a car, being forced to do a thing I don't want to do, while listening to music that is more like, hey, Rage Against the Machine in a way, while taking part in the machine that I am trying to rage against, driving the houses that people who are taking part in the machine have bought and they look amazing and beautiful, just putting me in a weird conflicted state. I was like, these houses do look nice, but man, I do not want to sell my soul for them.
Yeah. You still gotta eat.
I mean, that, again.
You still have to eat.
Again, socialism does not sit there and say, hey, you can't secure a bag.
Right.
That's the thing. I would like to eat. I don't necessarily want all the superfluous stuff that comes with, just working constantly and possibly getting rid of a social life and just following a passion. But who knows? I don't know this family. The only thing I know is that they ordered a salad from a barbecue place. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Don't know. No.
What? No.
No. No.
That's definitely, we are definitely on the vein of make it make sense, because why are we doing that?
See you see why I'm upset?
Look, if you want a $12 salad, get it from a salad place.
Right.
Don't
what are we doing?
Get it from Bob's Barbecue Emporium.
Right. What are we doing?
Or in my neck of the woods, Hog and Bones.
Restaurant smelled good, and I was gonna pick up a salad. Like, what are we doing? When I stand for this. Anywho,
You ever go to Chipotle and order the burger?
Wait, what? They do not have a burger at Chipotle.
No, they don't have a burger.
I was about to say.
Not yet.
Not yet. But for those of us with picky eaters in our family, we would appreciate it if they had a burger.
I guess. Look, I also can't be bad because there are places that everybody else loves to eat, and I do not eat any of the food there.
Look, if they have chicken tenders, I'm gonna be all right.
I'm the person ordering a burger at a seafood restaurant.
They got chicken tenders. I'm gonna live.
Yep. Look, you go to a steak restaurant, you gotta get chicken tenders? That's what I want.
It took me a while to get used to the texture of steak, but now I love it, and that's all I want. It's just steak. Give me steak, please.
Well, see, my daddy was a steak man. My dad used to get back in the days when the steaks were steaks. You get a T-bone, and he'd get him a T-bone, and he'd get him some cube steak. Now the T-bone, that was for Sunday. The cube steak, that was steak every day. That was weekday steak. Man ate steak 7 days out the week.
See, that's where I have an issue. Like, I can't eat steak with bone in it. I don't want to, like, for me, it's that thing of, see, now I have to work for this. That's not what I came here for. I didn't come here to work. I came here to dine.
Oh,
that's not work. That's a built-in handle. What are you talking about?
My dad would sit. I would literally watch my dad with awe as he would just bite around that T-bone, and I'm like, and chew on the gristle, and I'm like, yes.
That's a steak you can work out your issues while you're chewing. It's just like this day at work.
I know.
Just no.
You know what this person said to me?
Just no.
I ain't like the way.
This
You know, I
ain't
don't like the
making
way that
sense.
Cecil said. I don't know why. I don't like the way Cecil looked at me in the loading dock.
Eat chew on this steak before I get myself fired.
Yeah, I'm just getting fired. He's like, just no. This is a fork and a knife food. What are we doing? There are rules.
Yeah, I never could do the boneless steak. So that's why I would always do like I would do like eye roast or like a loin piece or
New York
like a little
strip,
piece
man.
of sirloin. Oh
New
yeah,
York,
love
New
the
York
strip.
Like
Love-
it's talking
love
about
the
like things without bones, like boneless wings all day. Like people say, I like the boneless wings. Like, no. Again, I'm here to enjoy my food, not work for
Boneless
it.
wings aren't wings.
Neither are bone-in wings. What do we say?
It's just chicken tenders at that point. Just get the tenders.
Yeah, just tenders.
It's not.
But they're not miniature and saucy. They just want miniature salsa wings.
Them just saucy nuggets, but
Okay. Chicken nuggets went on the menu. Let's move on before I get into my terrible thoughts on macaroni and cheese, which is definitely well established at this point. Look, there's
I don't
been
know
other.
this one, so we're gonna skip right past this one because I might have to.
yeah,
I might have to pull a sin and actually just walk away.
Yeah, it's best you do it because
All right, let's do that.
it is very uncomfortable.
All right.
I'm like, man, oh man, oh man. Turn your card in, sir. Turn your Southern black man card in.
Look, I didn't choose to get born here. Yeah, like I said, I want to be born in rural North Carolina. No, I didn't ask for this. For the longest time, I tried to say I was from up north because my mom lived in New Jersey for several years.
That is true.
I thought she was from New Jersey. She broke my mind and my heart when she told me she was a North Carolina girl. I said, no, it can't be.
Yep.
I'm not a Southern child.
Oh gosh. Like my father's like native Bahamian and my mother is like native Georgian, so they are both the country of their country. So my dad was like the country of he's like basically like poor Bahamian rural, and then my mom is like rural, Southern black. So it's just like, oh, we're both, so we just all grew up poor. Bet. And so it's like, yeah, so we both grew up poor and barefoot. Love it. And they found common ground, they found commonality and never wanted to do that shit again. So yeah.
but yeah, before we devolve into more of my bad food decisions,
right?
The tech and gaming world has made some bad decisions this week. State-sponsored media, anyone?
That's funny.
Let's see. Games launching at 30 FPS when consoles at all the games should be able to run at 4K 60. What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know them problems anymore, but yeah.
Actually, you would. On a console, you would.
Almost.
On a console, you would, but yeah, sure, we got PCs that.
Shout out to Merge. I wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
No.
Looks like, shout out to Major. Shout out to Major. I gotta play this at 30, but shout out to Merge. I can play it at 60.
Yep. I would have been like, I'm like, oh yeah, shout out to Major for because I would have been like, yep, I couldn't run it on either. I couldn't have run it on the current on the previous, but shout out to y'all because yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Oh, by the way, we got a special question, and I can't wait to ask it. So in tech news, AI can crack most passwords faster than you can read this article.
Well, I mean, I could see it.
The experiment, which was run by cybersecurity firm Home Security Heroes, involved PassGAN, a new kind of password cracker. Unlike typical password cracking tools, which lean on fixed data sets, PassGAN is driven by two neural networks, one taught to generate passwords and the other taught to distinguish between the first fake passwords and passwords taken from real data breaches. As it's trained, this kind of generative adaptive network learns to offer more sophisticated password predictions, allowing for faster and widespread cracking. However, so this is from PCWorld, but however, from Ars Technica, this is me, PassGAN, the supposedly terrifying AI password cracker that's mostly hype.
Yep.
Let's see why they said it was hype. So this is I'm trying to look at the two. I guess conventional password guess uses lists of words numbering in the billions taken from previous breaches. Popular password cracking applications like Hashcat and John the Ripper then apply mangling rules to these lists to enable variations on the fly. Another technique that makes word lists much more powerful is known as a combinator attack. As the name suggests, this attack combines two or more words in the list. In the 2013 exercise, password cracking experts Jens Stube was able to recover the password mom of three gate kids.
Great. Mom of three great kids.
I guess, but where is the R? That should have thrown it off. Because he already had mom of 3G and 8 kids in his list. Password cracking also relies on a technique called brute force, which, despite its misuse as a generic term for cracking, is distinctly different from cracks that use words from a list. Rather, brute force cracking tries every possible combination for a password of a given length. For a password up to 6 characters, it starts by guessing A and runs through every possible string until it reaches 6, forward slashes? The number of possible combinations for passwords of 6 or fewer characters is small enough to complete in seconds for the kinds of weaker hashing algorithms the home security heroes seem to envision in its PassGAN write-up. PassGAN uses none of these methods. Instead, it creates a neural network, a type of data structure loosely inspired by networks of biological neurons. The neural network attempts to train machines to interpret and analyze data and blah, 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 blah. You already know what all that is. Okay, I think this is, all of these nuances are lost on the home security heroes team that demonstrated the PassGAN tool. They trained it on 15.7 million passwords taken solely from the RockU breach, a tiny and outdated sliver of the overall corpus of available samples. Today, it can crack 81% of them in less than a month, 71% in less than a day, and 65% in less than an hour. It can also guess any 7-character password in 6 minutes or less.
So I'm assuming that this does not include, back off times. This is purely brute force against I guess the hash passwords at this point. So not including the server. So in this case, if you're guessing one password a million times, you're going to get timed out at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's only only certain character, like a certain number of characters.
Yeah. And it seems like this is also just geared towards people who are still manually creating passwords. So you're using those words and you're substituting letters. So if you're using any sort of random password generator, this doesn't apply to you.
Right.
Like the fear mongering doesn't apply to you if you're over a certain character limit. Okay.
Right.
I mean, given the fact too that the data that they're pulling it from was old anyway, so people have probably learned a little bit more, are probably using generative passwords from password managers. So it goes on to say, it's impressive that a machine can achieve that level of performance, and therein lies the value of the original PassGAN research. But compared to what's possible through conventional means, these results are hardly remarkable. The chances that PassGAN will ever replace more conventional password cracking are infinitesimally small. So while it's cool that you can use AI to, crack a password, what's the point if current methods can still do it in about the same time? Also, passwords have changed over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So while PC World's like, oh shit, an AI can do it really fast. It's like, ours is like, pump your brakes. It's old data. We've been here before. We have faster methods or as fast methods that are probably going to be cheaper.
Yep.
You know, I'm thinking that maybe as a way of making an educated guess at your password. So in this case, if you've been breached to multiple sites, maybe there's a correlation between the style of password you use if you're still manually generating your password. So people who fall in like a common pattern. So maybe the password cracking can have a smarter guess, so it doesn't start with AAAAA, but starts with mom of, and then guesses the last part after that. So maybe there's something that it can learn from that aspect of it.
Well, wouldn't that come from like the method that what was this John Stube was using?
I mean,
I'm thinking that. Yeah, I'm
like
thinking
that's the
that
Combinator
is,
attack. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm essentially with that though. It's still brute forcing, I think, at that point, right? Where you're able to kind of recover it based on common words. So it's essentially saying, these are the 3 words that I'm going to try, and then trying just like slightly different combinations of that. But what I'm saying is like, okay, so who knows that the first part of that password is mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did it arrive that that first part of that password was mom? Is that part of the AI learning? And if not, I think that would be, oh, okay, we have this person's username. This is the type of person they are based on whatever personal information. So a targeted password cracking attempt, saying, oh, okay, this person's a mom of 3, based on their social media profile or based on other breaches, and kind of go through and guess it.
Right. If passwords were like distinct, if you had like a particular thing Major, if you think about that one scene in the Avengers game when like Kamala Khan's trying to figure out Tony Stark's password, and he's like she's going through all the different ways and means of where he thinks the password's going to be, then sure. But again, just as you know, as you say, Major, if you're using a password manager with random ass numbers and letters and symbols,
And then use a different one each time.
yeah, and you use them regularly, yeah.
Yeah, but there are people who are out there who are like, oh, okay, I'm on Yahoo, so my password is, Yahoo with the A replaced with an 8, underscore 45 or something like that. And then they go, oh, okay, I'm on Netflix, so my password is Netflix, with the E changed to a 3 underscore, 42.
Right.
That sort of thing. Is it able to pick up on those sorts of patterns like that for a particular user? Yeah. And start again with a more educated guess, so it doesn't have to go through so many combinations. And I think that's kind of where the value of something like this comes in.
Yeah.
Is you make it a smarter, less expensive brute force attack.
So part of me feels like what it's doing is a automated version of the Combinator attack then. Because I imagine if you're using the Combinator attack, you're using the brute force initially, you get the password, and say, okay, I see this password. Like mom of 3 great kids. Well, what if I broke those down into individual words, find things that may be related to them, and start mixing it up in a Combinator? But then feeding it to an AI. So, all right, you can do this faster than I can.
Right.
Maybe you can come up with the deviations of this password based off of what you know. And we'll try those. But I don't think it's going to be useful in the initial attack. Like, because that's still you having to brute force. And figuring out, all right, I found one. Can I draw an inference from this one that could possibly be for this other account based off of what account it is, who it is, and how old the account may be. Yeah. Like if it's an old website, maybe they were here at the beginning. This like Yahoo was around since the 90s. Maybe they were signed up for a Yahoo account in 95. And this is what was going on in 95. But yeah, I mean,
piece my Yahoo account from 95.
Oof.
I guarantee you, whatever it was called did not have a great password in '95. Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that thing is. Hopefully they've purged all those old accounts you haven't logged into for 20 years.
Oh yeah, MySpace account? Yeah, it probably wasn't.
I've been getting emails from Miro about purging an account, so maybe. So who's all in for generative AI? Well, not all in, but who likes generative AI here?
I'm not going to say I like it, but I'm not
capacity.
against it.
Okay. I mean, I like generative text. Fuck images, because those are nightmare fuel. But text is okay, and I'm all right with that. The biggest issue that I have with it is the fact that, you know, it's very close source. So there's a whole black box problem where you don't know how you got to the thing you got to. Although, did you know that if this then that is pronounced ift?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I found that out like a week ago.
I don't have enough time to say all those letters. I can't. It's just ift.
So speaking of ift, they launched some services earlier this week where they have like the generative AI. You can give it one thing and it will spit out something else. So I did that for a Mastodon post that I wanted to turn into a blog just to see what it would do. I've made neither of these things, but I made a note. It said, hey, I would like to write a post about me waking up early in the morning and figuring out a way to power and cool my PC using nothing but rainwater. Let's see here. Let's see if I can go.
Very specific request.
And it wrote it. Very weird spacing, but whereas yeah,
this
how
is
to
the
power
appropriate
your
spacing for someone who's trying to figure out how to cool their PC with rainwater, though.
yeah. I mean, at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. This literally
it is
was my
written
thought
like
process.
a manifesto.
Yeah, that's where I was. This is my headspace at 3:30 in the morning. But I did this at, as you see, like 12:22 p.m.
Yeah, as I'm scanning this text and I see insects and animal drops, it's like, yeah, this is definitely a manifesto for someone. They woke up and had something on their mind.
Well, again, I mean, yes, woke up early in the morning and I really did think about it. Most of the things that was included in this was literally things I was thinking about at 3:30, 3:45 in the morning. And I was like, damn, that's actually pretty good. I like that. And actually, they even filled out some things I didn't even think of. The one thing that I don't like is the fact that they don't make it self-sustaining. And I think that's the part I got stuck on. Was how do I collect the water? And like, if it's not raining, how do I get the water to keep going so I can keep the pump going and the electricity going? Like, at a certain point, I excluded the PC.
Terrarium with its own ecosystem with the little bugs in there. So now you've got a terrarium hooked up to this. That goes into the aquarium, which then goes into the solar generation, which heats the water, evaporates it, and powers your house. Unlimited energy. I think you solved it. You fixed it.
I was thinking that at one point too. Where I was like, no, this is a joke. I should go back to bed. Anywho, all this to say that Databricks released Dolly 2.0, which is reportedly the first open source instruction following large language model, or LLM, for commercial use. That's been fine-tuned on a human-generated data set, and it can serve as a compelling starting point for homebrew ChatGPT competitors. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Yeah, Dolly 2.0.
This run on commodity hardware?
It did not say. The data set is on GitHub. The Dolly weights are on Hugging Face, which looks like a code repository, but
Hugging Face. This is a Git service.
it looks like it, kind of. But I wonder if this is like, hold on, let's just, the AI community building future. Oh.
You learn something new every day. Let me
yeah, this is actually pretty cool.
Bookmark this.
Let's see, what was I looking for? Yeah, so it doesn't say like what kind of hardware it will run, what kind of hardware that it can run on.
Yeah, that's the part that scares us. It's a partially open source model with restricted weights. Oh no, that's talking about Meta's Llama is partially open source, which is okay. That was the thing. It was like, once OpenAI was like, they saw how much money they could make. They're like, oh yeah, open source is a mistake. We're going to close everything down.
Right. Right.
So this, if it's truly fully open source, this might be the play. Because I will say that, if you're looking at, what's being funded out there, you feel the heavy pressure of ChatGPT and AI. Even if you don't like it, it's quickly becoming the next wave that people it is the next wave that people are jumping on, and it's quickly becoming something that you have to at least be familiar with if you're looking for resources, we'll say.
So on Mastodon, AI researcher Simon Willison called Dolly 2.0 a really big deal, Willison often experiments with open source language models, including Dolly. One of the most exciting things about Dolly 2.0 is the fine-tuning instruction set, which was hand-built by 5,000 Databricks employees and released under a CC license or a Creative Commons license, Willison wrote in a Mastodon post. So yeah, like a lot of the data that was fed into it was from Databricks employees, so we know where the data came from. It's not like it scraped the internet and you have no idea who did what. Nobody's being credited for anything. We at least know that there are 5,000 employees. We know where this data came from, and this is how they generated the data.
But how do we know that this isn't just an elaborate advertising scheme by Databricks? Use this model, and it's going to just suggest you use Databricks for everything after that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we can pull up the data set.
I love this title, this quote. Even if Dolly 2 isn't good, I expect we'll see a bunch of new projects using that training data soon. So even if Dolly 2 is crap, there's some good that will come out of it. That's optimism right there.
It's like we will learn more from our failures than we will from our successes. And I'm like, I wouldn't pre-order my failure yet. I would hope that it succeeds.
Look, I know this project's not going to good. Can I go ahead and put some money down on this failure? Are you shorting yourself?
Right, you're shorting your failure. Is that what we're doing? You're short failuring? Is this the big short all of a sudden?
All right, so I found one line in this whole data set that mentions Databrick.
Cracks me up.
Is there a correlation between the milestones required between data AI, ML, and intelligent automation, RPA, value curve over time, context, response? For organizations to achieve the most value from their data, they must establish a data foundation that allows for high quality reporting on past events. Establishing a data brick Establishing a Databricks Lakehouse Foundation requires no AI ML capabilities, and over time use that data AI ML to drive automated decisions for crucial business practices. For this reason, there is a direct correlation between the value curve for both data and intelligent automation, the value maturity curve for intelligent automation. Okay, that's a lot.
I say that line sounds like ChatGPT wrote something for a Databricks employee or something like that.
I wonder. See, now I'm actually wondering, like, wait a sec, hold on. Instruction: list the Pixar movies that have won Academy Awards. Pixar has produced 26 feature films, starting with Toy Story, which is the first fully computer animated feature film. Its most recent film was Lightyear. The studio has also produced many short films as of July 2019. Its feature films have earned approximately $14 billion at the... So is it just the fact, like, is the instruction like it finds, is what the chatbot would find in the context is the answer?
Really feels like it writes a breakdown.
Yeah, I really would like to understand how a LLM works.
Like it's like it Googles it and then like says, "All right, cool. Let's write down what we see," and then it just like takes notes.
At a very high level, it's basically predicting what's the next word based on your prompt. So think of it as a really fancy predictive engine. What's the probability of the next word coming through? So it is mathematical magic, we'll say. Going through based on your prompt, what's the probability of these being the right words? And the more data that you have, the closer it gets to giving you the right answer. At a very naive high level, that's kind of how it's working.
So something like GPT-4 would have more than 15,000 potential instructions to give the LLM to give us an answer for it.
Mm-hmm. And it's saying, based on these instructions, what are the words that are most likely going to be in that answer? And that's all coming from all the data that it's been trained on, where it's picking those words from. And it is, again, that's a very naive and very high level answer. So, don't at me, because it is, again, is very naive, very, very, very high level answer. But that's effectively what it's doing. It's just predicting the answer that you want based on the tokens that you've given.
This is interesting. And like, just looking at this right now, right? I mean, or look, being able to see this right here is like, is this all this is? Is this the LLM? Like,
is that the training data or the language model?
This is the language model, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so that's going to be.
Oh, it's a data set. Yeah, it was the data set. Okay.
So this is what they fed into to generate the language model then.
Like, you could technically, I imagine this could run. This could run on a regular machine, I imagine. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if I put this on one of my Linux boxes, actually, shit, I can probably put it in this Windows box and WSL. Anywho.
I think we should try that. Let's that's a good experiment.
Yeah, I might have to look into this. Leaving AI for a second to go visit our boy Musky Musk. Technically, this isn't him, but he's responsible for the company. Tesla must be punished for tasteless sharing of car camera images. A lawsuit has been filed by Henry A. of California, who owns a Model Y. Sued Tesla on Friday on behalf of himself and all other people in the U.S. who owned or leased a Tesla at any time in the past 4 years. The lawsuit draws from allegations in a Reuters article that was based on interviews with 9 former Tesla employees.
I don't think that lawsuit has enough people involved with it. My thing is, here on the West Coast, you pass enough Teslas, and one of my fears is, again, as I walk my neighborhood, I pass by Teslas, and one of the things they do have is that if you get too close to the car, or close, within a certain range, the car will honk at you and take a picture of you. And I don't have a problem with that as long as it's staying on the car. If I'm walking down the sidewalk, there just happens to be one parked on the road, it takes a picture of you, whatever, I don't care. But now that that's going to Tesla servers, and Tesla employees are sharing that, you could effectively build tracking of a person as they walk by Teslas.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think this lawsuit should include anyone who's ever had a picture, whose Tesla's ever taken a picture of. And because you don't know that you're being monitored in that case. And like I said, in California has if you have an expectation of privacy, and I think that's kind of where they may get away from the regular people, is if I'm on public street, is it wrong for a Tesla to take a picture of me?
But see, that's why I think they're trying to include anybody who owns a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Therefore, the Tesla was at your home, not just on the street. Because you're right. Like on the street, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Well, so you're saying if you own a Tesla and you park it in your driveway, you don't qualify for this lawsuit. But if you park it in your garage, you do.
No, I'm saying like if it's in your home, if it's on your private property at that point, because the driveway is still part of your property, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. But if I'm a pedestrian walking on the sidewalk and I walk past your car, which this happens to me all the time, I walk past a Tesla which is parked in a driveway, and they have their sensitivity set so that if I'm walking past the sidewalk, it does a honk and take a picture of.
And see, that's why I think it's for the owner and not necessarily the passerby. Where it's like,
yeah,
hey,
I think there's a lot to, if they carve it out too much, then, who is this really helping?
let's see. It says on behalf of himself and all other people in the US who owned or leased a Tesla.
I want money. I want to get on this lawsuit.
So I imagine, it's got to be on your property in order for you, like you would like. I mean, I don't see anybody who is buying a Tesla and then just like leaving it in a public space far away from their home. But even then, I feel like that still doesn't matter, because if I'm doing something in my car and it records me, what actually does it record in the car or is it just outside?
I don't know. Do Teslas have interior cameras? I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
I guess they do have the ones to make sure that you're paying attention when it's the auto drive, the self-driving is on, right? So maybe at least one inside.
But see, I'm wondering if that's a sensor, not a camera. Like my Sonata has something that lets it know that I am drifting off sometimes. Long trips are a bitch sometimes. It's like, hey, you should take a break. How about you sit there and mind your business? Try to get home.
I'm trying to get some sleep here.
Right. Like I'm 2 minutes from my house, man. Don't tell me I need to take a break. I'll take a break when I get home. But yeah, it's a lot of these seem like it's from the outside, like it's outdoor cameras and not indoor.
Mm-hmm.
So like you went out to your garage butt ass naked. You had a Linus situation. But you were better than Linus. I'm not going to display this on the internet. But now all Tesla employees see it.
Why was he naked?
Again, that's not the question we should ask. The question we should ask is, why did he decide to show it? I don't give a shit what the fuck this man does in his house. Why did you need to put that in your YouTube video? Don't nobody want to see pasty Canadian ass.
No, it's just take over my account, but I always have time to put some pants on. Come on now.
That part. I don't care where I am.
That's not the only bit. He decided to put it in multiple videos. Oh, what's up to call?
Yep. So
And
that's yeah. Yeah, when I made that call, when I pretty much very loudly said, yes, he's gonna make a video of it. What I did not realize that he was gonna be naked in that video.
Monkey's paw.
I was like,
that was monkey's paw, baby.
Yeah, that was the monkey's paw.
You got what you asked for. You got what you asked for. It is so.
And then it was like naked, and I was like, you know what? I hate it here. What? Why?
I know advertising revenues are down, but this is not the way, Linus. This is not the way.
This is not it, bro.
His brand is not strong.
No.
Actually, financially it kind of is, but not in the way we mean it.
Yeah.
Now on to Twitter and the fuckery of Musky Musk. NPR has called it quits and has left Twitter. NPR is quitting Twitter, saying that the social network owned and run by Elon Musk is, quote, undermining our credibility, end quote. The decision was made about a week after Musk branded NPR with the state-affiliated media tag, which is typically applied to propaganda outlets controlled by governments.
Mm-hmm.
To call is because this is truly Twitter Talk Thursday. Sorry, we didn't say about the name change. I've not made the name change yet. We are Twitter Talk Thursday.
We are at least, guaranteed to talk about.
Oh, there were a good couple of weeks where Twitter was not in the news. I did give it a moratorium at one point. And there was more things I could have talked about, like how apparently Twitter Incorporated doesn't exist. It's now X.
That's Elon's
experimental
shell company. Yeah. Whatever company he's using. Yeah. Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, that's what I'm saying. Like it won't once a week. We want once a week. It was like that, like towards the end of 2022. But yeah, there was like a month where we did not talk about Twitter, and it felt great.
That was December.
No, that was a month where Twitch decided to fuck up and punch a bunch.
Oh yeah, that's right. Twitch was wrong.
It's always a company with a T. We can easily just switch it out. So okay, it's not tech anymore. It's Twitter. Oh, not Twitter. Oh, it's Twitch. Okay, gotcha. We just switch out them T's real quick.
Yep.
NPR's organizational accounts will no longer be active on Twitter because the platform is taking actions that undermine our credibility by falsely implying that we are not editorially independent, NPR said in a statement provided to Ars today. We are not putting our journalism on platforms that have demonstrated an interest in undermining our credibility and the public's understanding of our editorial independence, end quote. Like I said on Mastodon, I said, look, it is now time for the journalists to leave Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I mean, granted, I've been beating this drum since November. Hey, or like as soon as Musk bought it, like as much as people were like that, I'm gonna leave Twitter if Elon buys it. Sure, I gave it a week or so. I gave it like a good 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I did see somebody else on Mastodon before me. I was like, how dare they? But then I left and I sit there and kept true. I said, like, I'm out. You may still see me post there, but it's because it's a bot that is just tweeting for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I have just been on like Twitter because a lot of like the indies that I rock with are still on Twitter, and then of course Fat Kid Deals, but I'm like I'm not as engrossed.
So I'm sorry, time out.
What?
Diogen, do not do that. If you would like another platform to be on, I welcome you to Major 2. There are plenty of Mastodon instances to go to. Do not feed into centralized networking. That's how they get you.
I mean, Hive is okay, but it's not perfect.
Of the algorithm. Take control. Seize the means of your social networking production.
Right. It exploded and then it fell off exactly. But
Wait, what exploded and fell off?
Hive.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Of course, this is now my my monthly check-in. Is Hive still a thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's still a thing. Like
they had a rough launch though. They had some rookie mistakes.
Yeah, because they weren't prepared for that. It was like small folks were going, like Elon was Musk was musking. And
Oh wait, yeah, I did check it too. I checked it like 2 months ago, and it did low for me.
Yeah, I checked in a couple of days. I just said hey, and then 2 people followed me on Hive. So it was like, okay.
I only have 1 follower on Hive, and it was just us kind of looking at each other like, yo, what's up? What's up? And it never again.
Right. It's like I just like check to make sure everything is good. But yeah, it was exactly what happened. It was like Musk was acting up. It was like and it was like people were fleeing.
Boy, that RTX voice muffled that laugh.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the clip guard really kills it. So I have to go
Sounded like Ganon. Sexy Ganon.
But anyway, so yeah, it was like it scared it. Like people were looking for a new haven, so it was a combination of Hive and Mastodon.
And that familiar. No, it wasn't like Hive or Mastodon. It was just people were looking for that familiar.
Right. And Hive was it, and then it was just like, oh, we were not prepared for the levels of what we were gonna get, and then it just kind of fell apart. And then like, all right, y'all, we gotta fix it, and then they fixed it, but then the drop off happened because then it was like, oh, Twitter hasn't blown up yet. Okay, we'll just stay with Twitter, but we'll just keep our Hives relatively active. Like there's some who are like, we're on Hive, I believe it, I like it, I believe into the system, and we're here and we're posting and we're like,
But imagine right. Something that's been around since at least 2017.
Right.
It just like it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I really think that because it didn't kill Mastodon. Mastodon is like I would say for it to be the newish thing on the block. I feel like what slowed its momentum was all these fucking think pieces and shit that came out talking about how complicated it was to get on Mastodon.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I don't know, find Mastodon instance, sign up for Mastodon instance, find people follow them. Not that fucking difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not.
I'm looking at my Mastodon.social account, joined in 2018. No post. But I do have invites if you want to get on Mastodon.social. But it's been a thing. You've had an escape for a while. Mastodon is there.
Hive has a nicer look to it. I mean, sure, okay, this is the web interface, but there are beautiful apps that exist now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like I have the app Ivory that was made by the Tweetbot folks.
Mm-hmm.
Like they immediately went to work when Musk was like, "Yeah, we're changing API shit."
And Ivory's a nice app if you've got an iPhone. So
yeah, like I was using Toot at one point. Let's see here. The best bit is that those who are honestly tired of Twitter anyways and wanted something different stayed on Masto. So in other words, liberals. I don't know. Again, it depends on who you follow. I am definitely not following liberals so fast the time. Whew, boy. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see the point of Mastodon. It seems like only tech people go on there. Last time I followed the tech people, it was Google Circles.
Right.
I mean, but see, that's the thing. Like, if you look at Twitter when it first launched, the only people that were on it were tech people because of the fact that Silicon Valley. Like it was an app that was launched in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
The people who joined early were the people who were in California who just were working out of Fang at the time.
Right. So.
Well, before it was known as Fang, or maybe around the same time. I don't know. I don't know when they called it Fang, but hey, I'm just to say Fang. And for those who don't know, it's Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. But yeah, like at that point in time, like the only people that were on Twitter at the beginning were tech folks. There are more people on Mastodon that aren't tech that I'm following. Like I'm following a whole bunch of gaming creators who could probably give two shits about the tech that we talk about here, let alone all the deep shit I can get into. I have seen more queer representation in Mastodon than I have ever seen in any social networking app, period. I mean, when I created Major Toot and started following random people, my federated timeline was like a fucking pride parade 24/7. And I do not mean that derogatorily. Or is that the adverb for derogatory? I don't know.
It works. We understand what you mean.
Okay, thank you. Like it is way more than just tech people being on it especially at this point. Maybe when people initially started flocking over. I know when I came over, I was definitely trying to be a part of an effort to bring more of us to the platform. Because like, look, right now, and from what I've been hearing, it's like unseasoned chicken in this motherfucker. We need to bring all the herbs and the spices and flavor some shit.
So I think part of my problem with Mastodon, and it's more so that the creatives that I follow on Twitter haven't made it over. Like they did choose some of the other, they tried to do some of the other alternatives to Mastodon.
And the indie developers would thrive on this server on Mastodon.
Yeah.
I mean, literally thrive, because a lot of what they do is just, screen caps and trailers and good vibes. And I'm like, I would love to see more game developers, or indie software developers just really thriving on Mastodon.
And their shit doesn't get buried.
Yeah, it
does not get buried by an algorithm. Like you post it, people fucking see it.
Right.
Like that was my whole thing with Twitter. It's like, look, give me chronological, do not serve me shit you think I want to see.
Right.
Because I knew that the algorithm was there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how bad it was until I went to Mastodon, posted the first like news article, or like even the first like archive from Major Linux or whatever, the first Tech Talk Thursday show on Mastodon, and just like Twitter engagement, Mastodon engagement, and like it would be bigger, but the gap between my thumb and my index finger just only goes but so much.
Right.
Because it's
there. With like accessibility Twitter and like, marginalized group Twitters were worried about their audiences, losing their audiences by going over to Mastodon. And then the possibility that whatever server they joined, if it was dedicated to a particular issue, that they would get silenced or defederated.
And see,
is there anything that I guess that protects those groups and makes it so that they don't have to have that worry? Like, I guess what would it take, do you think, to get some of these creatives to move over to Mastodon, the holdouts?
I think what it would take is for them to create their own instances. That's the one thing I like about the Fediverse, is the fact that anybody can just create their own instance. The fact that Docker, like sure, I built mine just off of bare metal. I built yours off of Docker, which in and of itself was an issue, but we ironed that out. It's good to see, like, I think it's Vivaldi has a built-in Mastodon. They're using like built-in Mastodon, so you could be whatever at Vivaldi.net or something like that. But honestly, I think what it is that if you're trying to establish a community, and this is something I've been saying from the beginning, like before all of this, back when it was diversify your content. When I built majorshouse.com, it was a play, especially when I started getting content ID'd a lot by YouTube, because I was also one of those folks who was playing licensed music when I probably shouldn't have, but you know, copyright law is a thing. It was a thing of, hey, YouTube won't play my shit. What if I put it here on my website? It's like, at least at the time, it was small enough to where nobody would come after me because nobody would know it was there. But it helped me realize that a lot of these centralized services won't be here. Something will happen and you will need to flee a service. Look at Twitter right now. If you had your own, you can maintain it. You can sit there, moderate it the way you want to, and build that safe community yourself. And it's now at a point, and like, this is why Major's House as a company exists, for content creators, for people who want to build those communities, because it allows me to take on that work of maintaining the software, the hardware, if it requires hardware. All you have to worry about is building that community, standing up a Mastodon instance or whatever Fediverse instance, setting up a PeerTube if you want to sit there and have a place to host your videos that may not fly on YouTube. Like if I want to show all the naked women on The Witcher, then I can put it on PeerTube and not worry about it being flagged and being demonetized, which obviously on PeerTube you're not getting monetized anyway, but I'm not worried about it getting demonetized or censored in a certain way. To set up Matrix instances, Synapse servers for Matrix. That way, hey, if there is conversations happening and like we're going to get into it with Discord, sure, what they did was, I mean, I guess good for national security, but what's to stop Discord from responding to a subpoena about, you know, an abortion? And they hand over chat logs, which are supposed to be end-to-end encrypted, but Discord still has the keys.
How's it end-to-end encrypted if they still have the keys?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like if they are advertising it,
that might have been me misspeaking. Misspeaking.
I was if they are advertising,
I just thought about that.
Then...
Yeah, I just thought about that. But it's supposedly encrypted. It may not be end to end, but it's supposedly encrypted. Like nobody's going to know what you're saying or whatever. I mean,
obviously Discord does. So
yeah.
Whatever claims to encryption that they have are meaningless if they're just going to unlock it and give it away.
So, I mean, and then that's the point. So it's that thing of, with Mastodon, with the Fediverse, with a lot of these tools, like there are a lot of tools that we have at our disposal that we can sit there and use to build these communities outside of these centralized services, which again, offer it to us for free. And that may be something we like. But again, people fail to realize that when that happens, you become the product. When something is free, you are the product. You're being sold to. They're taking your data, they're selling it to who the fuck they want to, and then you get ads. Yep. Who the fuck wants that?
I don't want ads.
So, like, I feel like that's the biggest argument for not using centralized services. Sure, Hive may not be doing that now, but watch them change the terms of service one day.
I can see that.
We saw what happened with Discord when they were adding the AI, the generative AI bot to do the conversation summaries. Like, Sure, I got it for text, but when they said, yeah, we might monitor video and audio recordings, like, nigga, for what?
Mm-hmm. But why though?
Like, this is why I feel like these services are important, and why I feel like more people, especially if you're looking into building communities, should move to these services. I'm not saying to replace them whole cloth, because again, YouTube is important for a lot of people to make money, but I don't know, if you've got something that, you know, may not fly on YouTube, but you still want to show a community, why not upload it to PeerTube?
Mm-hmm.
If you are having sensitive conversations, you're trying to protect people who who would like to enjoy your content, who would like to interact with you, but, you know, people are snooping around, or y'all may be talking about very sensitive subjects.
Yep.
Why have that conversation on Discord? Hey, there's a Matrix server right here where we can sit there and discuss these private matters and not have to worry about that getting out.
Right. It's for those who can.
And that's what Major's House is for. This is not an ad, but hey, I mean, if you would love to, you know, send me some money to build these out for you, I will definitely do it. I will not say no.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this isn't an ad. Like, this is me explaining, like, hey, this is why I do what I do personally. This is why I do what I am doing with Major's House.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying, like, for me, like I said earlier, I think we were talking about like capitalism versus socialism, and like, hey, somebody's got to eat. You're right. I got to eat. I'm not against anybody making a bag, but I'm not here to sit there and make money and massive amount of profits off of people, especially when I can see that there is a need and people need help.
Right.
I want to make sure that the people that most, if not all people, have the means to be able to do this. I don't want to make somebody a product. I don't want to sit there and make shit tons of money off of people. I want to make sure people have what the fuck they need to sit there and safely build a community for themselves and for their community. And again, Twitter is not it. And seeing a lot of people, especially journalists, celebrities, and even folks on Twitch, or a lot of content creators, sticking to fucking Twitter for this. Yeah, like, you're running out of excuses at this point.
No, I think journalists especially, they have to know that Twitter is not safe for them. Twitter is not safe. And I completely agree in this case with Mastodon. If you're a news, like New York Times, you know, Washington Post or whatever, have your own Mastodon instance.
Exactly.
You're in complete editorial control over what goes on there. And you don't have to worry about, again, Twitter showing an ad to your user base in their timeline based on your post, or refuting your post, or again, like what NPR is going through now, you know, being marked as propaganda effectively, you know?
Yeah.
You control your own destiny at this point.
And the thing is, like, if you're controlling your own instance, if somebody defederates your instance, that's on them. That doesn't stop you from being able to still be able to publish your content and it still getting out.
That's only that one instance, and I think that was the kind of the question that I was getting to there. Is like, you know, if I know that, you know, accessibility Twitter had this concern, which is just like, you know, if you congregate everyone who's talking about accessibility issues into one place, you just have one target for those major servers to just turn off and just silence their voice all with one click. And that was the one thing that they didn't want to see happen, because it's worse than the algorithm at that point. Because, you know, the algorithm, at least some people are still seeing your thing, but as an instance admin, you can just turn off an entire server. And I was just curious if there was ways to protect against that other than just backlash against the server admin.
Not that I can think of, but I'd imagine like the folks that would do that either just like trolls who just don't want to hear that message, or if something happened in that instance and the instance administrator chose not to do anything about it. It's like, hey, you've got trolls and bots and they're now affecting our servers. We're reaching out to you as admin, like admin to admin. Would you please do something? And you refuse to do so. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point it becomes like, then it's almost like a blacklist thing that goes on. But it's at least that communication between several instance administrators who may be noticing a problem that will raise that problem or raise that issue with the instance admin of the problematic server to give them the opportunity to fix the problem.
All right. So it really shouldn't be a problem with the well administered or administrated Mastodon instance. Shouldn't be a problem.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
But speaking of multiple people leaving multiple places and things, PBS said we've had enough too. Just because we are public does not mean we are funded by the government. Oh my God. PBS's like secondary slogan is viewers like you.
Thank you.
The public broadcasting service PBS has stopped tweeting from its primary Twitter account after it was given a quote government funded media label. As of this writing, yeah, exactly.
PBS.
As of this writing, the PBS account hasn't tweeted since April 8th, and the organization has since confirmed it currently has no plans to resume posting to Twitter. Let's see. Pulling up PBS.
The House of Nova.
Yep.
And Barney and Cyberchase of Arthur.
Hang. Click on that Street Fighter 6 link. No, just.
Oh, what's happening to Street Fighter 6?
Street Fighter 6 is trending. What's going on there?
What is happening with Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, it's best we don't click on that.
Oh wait, I see the government funded account thing.
Yeah, we might run into some Rule 34s. That's one reason why I'm very leery about opening up tweets.
That is true.
I don't see nothing terrible happening.
Look, not yet.
It don't happen until it happens.
Right.
And when it happens, because
that's all that happens after that.
Yeah. I typed in the word content creators because I was looking for key offers and people who are like, oh, who's reached out for games? And I saw some other stuff that I was not prepared for.
Did Street Fighter 6 drop content today? Wow. Okay.
Oh, that's OG. I'm looking at it for the chat.
Okay, so so Capcom Europe and possibly some other Capcom accounts tune in for the Street Fighter 6 showcase for an extended final look at Street Fighter 6 with over 30 minutes of big news and announcements, hosted by Lil Wayne. And just so we are sure, okay, yeah, it's Lil Wayne, Wheezy F baby. So I guess this announcement dropped today that they're having a showcase.
Yeah.
They have Lil Wayne money.
Look, when Twitch had Megan Thee Stallion money, I was like, you can't tell me shit about it.
This is Capcom they're talking. They got money.
They got money.
But yeah, so yeah, PBS has not tweeted since April 8th. Yeah.
Nope. Because why would they?
They have Lil Wayne money. Yes, Capcom has Lil Wayne money.
Yep.
When did Capcom ever claim that they didn't have money?
I mean,
we don't want to hear Capcom not having money ever again.
I mean, the proceeds from a Monster Hunter would be enough.
Honestly, though, like let's keep it a buck, though. You know, this is all because of Resident Evil, though, right?
Oh yeah.
All those fucking remakes, like everything's running on fucking RE engine.
You know what's wild? Because 4 is doing good. We're gonna get a 5, and we're gonna get Chris Redfall punching a boulder.
No, we don't need 5. We don't need 5.
No, we're getting 5.
We don't need 5.
We're getting 5.
We just need to forget that. Is that look? Somebody need to tell Japanese that look, bruh, this is racist. Let's not do this.
If we got 3, we're getting 5.
This is racist. We don't need this.
Yeah. FGC fans always say each Capcom game funds the next one.
Yeah, pretty much. And if we get 5,
can claim that.
And if we get 5, we're gonna get 6.
Yeah, they can claim that all they want. I mean, that may have made sense, like when it was scarce other games Capcom was putting out. But I mean, Resident Evil has been doing gangbusters since 7.
Seven brought it back to be
again, the
fair.
RE engine, they just built everything on the fucking RE engine now. And it's like this
yeah,
solves all of our problems.
When we were like, yo, let's just make this like a found footage, like haunted house-esque type game, but in RE. Yeah, seven changed the game.
Oh no. Remake 5 is happening at this point. You should see the end of Remake 4. It confirms it without directly confirming it.
Oh, I believe it. Yep. Oh, that's happening. I'm telling you.
Also,
now,
Remake 4 shipped 4 million in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
RE7 didn't ship 4 million in 2 weeks though.
Yeah, we're getting a 5. We're getting a 5.
The only other RE game that shipped that much was 6.
Oh,
it wasn't that one even a mistake? Like no, nobody really liked that one either.
Yeah, but they still play.
I mean, yes, you can still buy something and not like it. It's just a whole bunch of people bought it. It's like, I don't know.
It's like you cannot beat the power of RE, because it's like even a bad RE is still RE to some people, because that was still Resident Evil for that year, and people were like, I don't like this, but I'm playing it because it's the only RE that I'm going to get. And then when 7 came out, they played that. When 8 came out, they played it and loved it. So it's
oh my
but that God. Was all on the back of 2.
Shit, you know what I forgot to do? I'm not sure if y'all can see the stream, but have y'all noticed something missing?
Wait, what's missing?
Yeah.
All of the UI that's normally around here. It's just straight up black.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, you can't see the tabs.
No. No, not the tabs. No,
like
look at the overlay itself.
Like that. Latest followers and everything that used to be at the top.
Right. No. It's just the overlay. The overlay is broken.
See, I never even noticed, because my overlay.
Look at the overlay here. Look at the overlay here and how it's all the circuitry. It's got Tech Talk Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then look at the actual podcast part. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I forgot to check a box in Photoshop when I exported this. And I just noticed.
The fact that me and Merge both didn't notice means
look, it'd be like that, man.
This is why I don't have overlays.
It'd be like that.
It's just too complicated.
Let's see here.
I just have sources, a collection of sources.
Look, you're going to get this game full screen. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. So RE6 did it in 1 day with a day 1 shipment of 4.5. RE5 3 weeks, Village 3 weeks, Resident Evil 2 less than 2 months, Resident Evil 7 9 months, and RE3 12 months.
We're getting a 6. We're getting a 6.
Question is, how many did the Mac port of Resident Evil Village do?
So yeah, PBS is. Look, we're not gonna talk about that.
Look, I'm gonna tell you about PBS.
Not that I'm trying to hide something, but it's like, come on, man. We talking about Mac games right now. We in tech. We in the tech section. You talking about Mac games? Come on, Merge. What are you doing? It's the resident Mac fan here. What are you doing? We talked about
Resident Evil and Capcom for like the last 15 minutes.
Which is sad. How did we get here from? Oh wait, because we were on Twitter. Damn it, Twitter.
We clicked on a Twitter link,
and it was snowball from there. We
talked about something or other.
But I mean, we pretty much covered it, because it was like, why is PBS on like government funded media when they're not government funded? They are like
funded by viewers like you.
And they have like possible state affiliates, like everybody else has state affiliates, and the only way that you can activate it is through like antenna, or if you just happen to trip over it while you watching for your locals. Like, oh, that's basically it. Who is out here? I mean, I know people watch PBS, and I know people have access to PBS, but who is fundamentally going to PBS in the vein of like a Fox News or like MSNBC or their local affiliate stations or their nightly news. Like, who is going?
Old people, but between that and
Right.
CBS.
But at that point, you got C-SPAN, because that's what my dad did. My dad rocked with C-SPAN.
In a series of tweets, Musk called for NPR to be defunded and said that the organization was hypocritical for calling its federal funding essential, while also promoting its own editorial independence.
But that's what,
like, was that?
That's what media does. That's what media is.
But wait a second, wasn't it like a fraction?
It's
like
not
a
even
small
that much.
amount.
It's not even that much. And
like, I'm sorry. Like, if I'm getting paid, and I'm gonna use like an old figure, $80,000 a year,
right?
And Microsoft decided, I'm gonna pay you $2 out of that $80,000. I'm not gonna just start using Microsoft products.
No.
At Red Hat, like, no, that's not how this works.
It's just you say something. This brought to you by Microsoft, and then you talk about, then you do the ad read. And then you get on with the news. It's like that pays.
It's like,
for
yeah,
that
like,
pays for the month.
Sure. I wrote this document in Microsoft Word while using this Windows laptop. It's fine, but I got Linux work to do. Thank you.
Like, whatever, dude. It's like this broadcast is brought to you by Microsoft. You get on the Azure platform. Whatever. You do your ad read. Anybody who's ever listened to a fucking podcast in the last like year and a half will tell you that if I have ever not listened to a true crime podcast or business podcast and heard a freaking ad read for Best Fiends, I'm literally, it's literally like a Candy Crush style.
Oh wait, yeah,
like,
we've been through this.
Yes. So I'm listening. So I'm basically washing. I'll be sitting up there washing my dishes, listening to one of my business podcasts, and it's like, hey everyone, let me tell you about a game called Best Fiends.
No, thank you.
Best Fiends. And I'm like,
any mobile app that has that sort of advertising money is doing some scammy stuff.
Right, exactly. Like June's. They talking about June's journey. They would talk. I was listening about the Pentagon Papers. And all of a sudden, I heard an ad read for June's Journey, a hidden treasure like in object game, and I'm like, dude,
no.
I would say you don't get ads for Marvel Snap, but you probably do.
No.
Right, but that doesn't make me feel like, oh man, journalistic integrity is gone because they're talking about June's Journey. No, they're trying to pay these bills, my guy. Do you know how much editors cost, producers cost?
Yeah, like I do this all myself, and it sucks sometimes.
Yeah. So if somebody told me, Kev, we will pay for your old time if you just have to like do Raid Shadow Legends, I'd be like, dude, give me that.
And yet Stream Elements cannot get me to do it.
No.
I've come
not
close.
Everyone can get away with not paying their rent, so
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I am paying for my mortgage. That's not, the mortgage is being paid. But
that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, bro, nobody's gonna be like, oh man, you sold out, because I'm trying to live and survive and make the content, because I'm like, shoot, of course. Yeah, give me HostGator. Yeah, of course. Give me like better
DigitalOcean or Linode. I will gladly take your money.
I would definitely do Linode, because I'm like,
I mean, I've got more in DigitalOcean than I do Linode, but I do have a Linode account now. I have two of them, apparently.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we had ad reads.
I'm sorry. Look, Kev, as long as you're not doing a cryptocurrency ads, we're good, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. We're not doing FTX. Although there's a really good podcast.
Oh wait, FTX actually is still a company.
Right. But here's the funny thing. I have been listening to a really good podcast about what's his name? SG something. I keep wanting to think like FJF from like AEW,
SFB?
but
is it SFB?
No, FBS. FBF. I think it's like Sam Bankman Frieden, something like that.
Yes. Wait.
Yeah.
Shit.
SBF.
Yes, yeah, FTX is still around.
Yeah, so I heard
he's
a really
not
good
the CEO.
No, he's not. He's gone. But I heard a really good I found a really good podcast. It's about FTX. It's called The Naked Emperor. And when I tell you, It is so good. It's 5 episodes long. It's so good, and I've been listening to that. So yeah, because anything to listen to while I wash dishes and sweep up. So
This time last year, I was listening to The Dropout.
oh nice.
Of course, about Elizabeth Holmes.
Right. Oh, and the Lazarus heist. That's another good tech podcast. That's the North Korea hacker bank robbers. The Lazarus Group. Ooh, that was a good one.
Anyway, we got to move on.
Yeah, we got to move on. Yeah, it sucks.
Speaking of podcasts and places in which you can listen to them, Rivian.
Yeah.
Rivian CEO attempts to justify why the company refuses to offer CarPlay.
Oh, Rivian.
They're just trying to be like Tesla. That's all.
So let's see. This is Rivian CEO. Where is it? I just damn it. Where is it? RJ Scaringe. On MKBHD's Waveform podcast. Of course, Mr. Brownlee had mentioned that Apple during WWDC 2022 claimed that 79% of car buyers in the United States only consider CarPlay capable vehicles. Again, I would like to state that I would not say just car. It's not. I wonder if it's 79% of car buyers who have an iPhone and not just 79% of car buyers, because I feel like that's either CarPlay or Android Auto, because those are not mutually exclusive.
No.
My poor PC is suffering on cauldrons and HZD. Cauldrons? What is a cauldron? What was that?
The place where they make the machines in Horizon.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did that one. I did Sigma. I haven't done the others yet.
These electric car interiors do not look good. Screens all over just seem planned. And they do, but they look cool though.
They look cool until you have to turn the heat up.
I know.
You have to slide your finger around to find where the heat is.
I know.
I think they've gone too far in the screen direction. Like, some things need to be a physical control, because I need to be able to find it without looking at a screen.
Yeah.
I think it was, what was it? It wasn't one of the Teslas. It was, I can't remember what brand it was. It was one where you couldn't even open the glove box without pressing a button on the screen.
That sounds like Tesla.
And I was just like, nope.
So yeah, to get back to this here, Scaringe explains that Rivian's decision to not use CarPlay is driven by its desire to be the arbiter or head chef of the in-car software experience rather than handing over control to a company like Apple. Quote, a lot of things we do, whether it's music or mapping, we have to make sure we integrate in the best-in-class platforms. But by controlling the system, it just allows us to be the arbiter or the head chef in terms of the experience you get, versus handing over control of what we think is one of the most important parts of the experience. The thing about controlling the software stack is we get to continually make it better. Every few weeks we have a new software release that either adds features, addresses gaps. We listen to feedback. Our head of software development is on Reddit all the time, hearing what people are saying and interacting.
Oh,
it's great to get the feedback. It drives our software roadmap to make sure we're delivering on what customers want.
Are Rivian owners on Reddit?
I don't think so.
I'm going to say yes, but
I mean, like the ones you actually want to listen to?
I mean,
still, I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Because they're electric car drivers of expensive electric cars. Of course, those motherfuckers are on Reddit.
I would say
so. Here's the part that's not even true. Is my wife's new car has CarPlay, but it also has its own built-in mapping system, and you can switch between them.
That's the fucking point. You can choose
which one you want to use. You can use. And there are reasons to do it. Like, there are reasons when my wife switches over to the built-in car one, because it is easy and it's built in. It's integrated with the console. But if she wants to use Waze or whatever, she could switch to CarPlay when she wants to, and it works no matter what.
Point.
Because that's the thing that I'm thinking. Because I'm kind of like, I'm kind of like ignorant when it comes to like these systems. Because we got the old '03, but I think about like, can you just? Is it like you switch over? Can you like switch over and be like, which would
Yes.
you like?
Yeah,
Like
just a
my
button. Just a
yeah,
button
like
press.
my CarPlay, it when I plug, like, it doesn't even matter which fucking car I have, right? I mean, granted, I've had Hyundais. The only cars I've had with CarPlay have been Hyundais. But when you plug in the phone, you activate it, whatever, there is a button that shows up in the list of apps in CarPlay that is the manufacturer button. You hit that, it takes you right back to the car's infotainment system.
Okay.
So if I wanted to control, like if I was looking at Apple Maps or Google Maps, Waze, whatever, I can hit the car manufacturer button and it'll take me back to the radio. So I can, change the radio station if I want. Or do something else in that menu. I don't know what the fuck I would do in there. It's a basic ass infotainment system. This is why I want CarPlay.
So it's like default. It's like a default system thing.
Well, I mean, like it's the default. Like I feel like CarPlay is the optional.
Like a custom launcher.
Everything still has to work if you don't have a phone.
Right.
If you don't have an iPhone. Like you still need to be able to listen to music. You still need to be able to get places. And a lot of those things are already built in.
So if
it depends on the model of the car. My car does not have GPS.
So if you had
if you don't have maps and things like that, that's one thing. Right. But so like you're going to have a radio, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if you let's say I have a flip phone, and which I don't, but if I had a flip phone, it would just use the basic default.
If you had no phone,
thing. Right, you would just have an FM AM radio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you might not have an AM radio in electric cars. They're actually taking those out, but you would have an FM radio.
That's wild.
Yeah, or like some cars, they may still have the CD players, what have you. Like you have access, or like most of them have satellite. Some people like listening to satellite radio. But it's like, yeah, you still have access to like the satellite AM, FM, CD player for those cars that still have it.
Mm-hmm. I know we talked about the screens everywhere with planned obsolescence, but it's not when you're dealing with CarPlay, and that's the thing that they're kind of forgetting, is that your infotainment is going to age in your car. But if you've got CarPlay or Android Auto, like the all they're doing is displaying a screen that's presented by the phone. So you don't have that planned obsolescence when you're dealing with your phone, because the apps are always updating on your phone. You're always getting a newer phone, and that's driving the main experience. The car is just literally just displaying a window that you're tapping and interacting, but everything else is going through your phone. Mm-hmm. So again, I just like there's no reason not to offer it, and I think Rivian they're building their own thing, and I don't see that you have it but even GMC is talking about taking out Android and CarPlay out of their cars too. So, and they're going with Android Auto.
This is Google Automotive. I think that was the thing we were kind of confused about last week. Android Auto is what's currently there. They are taking that out and putting in Google Automotive.
Too confusing. But it's like Google Automotive is kind of like the base layer for Android Auto. But anyway.
Yeah, it's none of this makes sense. And like even if you're looking at I've got right here like what it looks like with the Rivian, like with its base software, and it's like you can't, like, you mean to tell me like you can't make a button to hit CarPlay and display it like in a corner somewhere without detracting from whatever it is you got going on?
Like, at least give the option.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like Tesla, like as much as like I was like Tesla, come on, you should do it. Like Tesla's just gonna be an asshole.
Yeah.
Just look who's running it.
It's giving Apple Maps.
Yeah, I don't know. Apple Maps is pretty good now, but it was the first mapping software that found my house.
Yeah.
When I had to give people address to my house, I said, "Look, you have to use Apple Maps. If you're on Android, good luck." Luckily, Waze had it second, so it was like, all right, you gotta use Waze. Google. I fought for like several months to get Google Maps to accurately show my home's location. And it's sad that that's like it. I guess it's one thing like if you move into a house and it just knows where your house is, but to constantly have to say Google, this is where I live, right here. Come find me right here. It's like it sucks in itself, but then when you realize I can't DoorDash without Google knowing, or I can't order DoorDash without Google knowing where I live. Like it sucks. For several months, we cannot order food.
Surprising thing, right? It's like my house did not exist. We couldn't get mail.
That was my whole.
We couldn't we couldn't do DoorDash. And like Amazon couldn't find us until like when that Google streetcar drove through. Like everyone's like celebrating because the Google streetcar is gonna be like, we're finally going to exist. We're finally going to be on the map somewhere.
It's like you were on a deserted island, and all of a sudden a passing like seaplane flies over, like we're here, and it's like
it
if you wanted something like the United States Postal Service better be delivering it, because FedEx isn't going to find you.
Yep.
DoorDash isn't going to find you. No one's going to find you.
Yeah, for the longest time, we like all of our Amazon packages were coming through USPS because we just weren't on a map anywhere. And the shitty thing about it was the Amazon distribution center, not even 10 minutes away.
So,
not even 10 minutes. Like we could have walked there if we wanted to.
Yeah. FedEx does this weird dance where like I live on a corner lot and my neighbor, Mama B and her daughter live on the other corner. Now let's say my is like Sweetheart Street. And so it's like I'm on the corner of Sweetheart Street, right? But compared to FedEx, Mama B also lives on the corner of Sweetheart Street because of our front doors are facing Sweetheart Street. So she's facing Sweetheart Street, I'm facing Sweetheart Street, and so FedEx is like, which one of these is the even though we're clearly numbered,
don't matter.
It don't matter. It's on the corner. Like, so there have been times where I've had to intercept packages from getting to her place, and there have been many times I almost got a hernia from me having to move her packages to her side of the street.
And so I want to point out that this car does not look to be using Google Maps, Apple Maps, none of that. Where is this getting in mapping data? And if a business or a house just popped up one day, as they tend to do, when is the mapping software being updated in my truck?
Mm-hmm. Who has that map? Who's making those maps?
A lot of these are not OpenStreetMap, but a lot of these are backed by the same service. You know, those other map making software that have kind of fallen off. They haven't really died. They've just kind of gone under, and they provide that. Yeah, they've kind of just provide the basic infrastructure for these things.
Yeah.
I think Diogen is saying, doesn't this violate mobile usage while driving? And most of those laws are hands-free laws.
Hands-free.
Versus, you're not able to use those things, but just hands-free. And a lot of these infotainment systems have built-in restrictions on what you can actually use while the car is in motion. And even my old, actually no, because I when I sold my car, went from a 2018 to a 2012. Even that, like the basic radio will lock you out of certain functions if the car is moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so most of those, they have carve outs for these bigger screens. So like looking at navigation is fine, but not actually typing in to do the navigation while you're driving, that wouldn't be allowed. But actually looking at a map or glancing at a map, which is actually one of the reasons why these bigger screens are actually good for mapping. You're not having to squint at your phone.
Plus when you also have like automated directions, like turn right on this thing, in 30 miles turn left, turn left now, like so.
And all of these cars have Wi-Fi, so they update basically by connecting to your home network or over cell signal.
Yeah And when it comes to inputting, especially if you're driving, it's voice assisted enabled for the most part. So like I shout homegirl out when I need a quick set of directions. Granted, there was somebody who was arguing with a host of people on Mastodon when I posted this article where it's like, oh great, so that now there's another thing I gotta sit there and watch out for when I'm walking as a pedestrian. Said, dude, like, chill the fuck out.
No, Ruin, you wanna feel extremely poor? Just go through the Rivian configuration and then see what your monthly payment will be.
Poor.
Yeah, all right.
That is the fastest you will close a window. That you will see it and you'll be like, yeah, this is the wrong lifetime for me because I cannot afford this.
Well, no, I just like looking at new vehicles. Like that was just going to be a slippery slope for me.
Yeah, I like going through the configuration because it's like, oh man, this is amazing, and then you're like,
ugh.
yeah.
It's like going through the Apple configurator.
Yeah, I literally had to stop myself, and Merge can contest this. I had to literally stop myself yesterday from looking up that damn vacuum from like, because I was like literally looking at that vacuum and I was like, ooh, that thing's nice, but I know that thing's expensive.
No.
And then I was like,
vacuum with the charging station is too expensive.
Yeah, I was like,
you think a Dyson is expensive?
And I was like, you know what? Let me look that up. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to know.
My iRobot is what, 700? My Roomba? Not 700. Where the fuck did I get that number from? I meant 2. Jeez.
Even then.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah.
And then I saw
where the fuck I got 700 from.
I was about to say, like, the hell? You could have got an army of Roombas for that. My Roomba army.
I think there has to be. I think there is a $700 Roomba, but that's like that. It's a very top of the line Roomba that has the little thing where it takes all the trash out for you and puts it in a neat little bag.
Yeah. No. But
well, you almost closed the stream tab when I said 700.
Close the tab.
Speaking of very expensive robots, honestly, I did not mean to set this up, but I'm glad it worked out.
It worked out.
It did. The NYPD is bringing back its robot dog. Because what screams New York more than policing?
We are literally, every day we getting close to Chappie. Every day we are getting close to Chappie.
Wait, Honda owns Boston Dynamics? I did not know that.
I mean, that makes sense. Because everybody wants to bring up, like, oh my God, we're going to have RoboCop. No. We're not going to get RoboCop. We're going to get Chappie. That's what we're getting. We're going to get, we're going to get Appleseed. That's what we're getting. We're going to get robot cops. That's what we're getting. Upright, fully formed, articulate, not like cyborgs like Data, but we're get not androids like Data, but we're going to fully get like Chappie. That's what we're getting. High stakes, high hostage situations where we cannot risk human lives. It's not going to be Detroit. It's going to be Chappie. Yep. That's what we get.
Let's see, in 2020, the NYPD used Digidog for reconnaissance during a situation that had a gunman barricaded inside of a building, and again deployed the robot in the midst of a home invasion in 2021 to get a glimpse at what was going on inside the home. After critics spoke out against the use of the Digidog over concerns about surveillance and the weaponization of the police, the NYPD quickly canceled its contract with Boston Dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
When has in New York City Police Department ever been concerned with public perception, though?
I mean, have you not seen Law and Order?
I mean, I've seen Law and Order, but since when did they start caring what the public thought of them?
That's what Law and Order is. It's literally just like kind of cop propaganda at this point. Like, look. This is what's actually going on. This is, oh, what? No, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's a house.
Yeah,
Diogen, you're right. It is, but
it is.
I quietly watched that in the background.
Yeah.
Like I said quietly, just don't, like, when I'm watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I don't talk about TV until I finish watching it. It is like all right, I'm done here.
That and Blue Bloods is like my two little propaganda shows.
So I guess, have y'all seen the meme about certain cultures' foods where it's basically the same thing? It's just like meat, cheese, and pasta, or meat, cheese, and flour.
Yeah.
Someone did that with cop shows, and it's literally like, I'm a detective from outer space, or I'm a detective, but I deal with, special victims, or I'm a detective when I work for the CIA, or I'm a detective where I work for the Navy. And they just go through like all of the different shows, and it's literally the same exact show. There's just a detective for a different agency solving the same crimes, just in different contexts. And I just feel like all of them are just propaganda shows.
Yeah. And we get don't get into like anime where it's just like, oh Jesus, we got Padlet Boar. I mentioned Appleseed. Ghost in the Shell. And my favorite, Dominion Tank Police. What if we were police, but we had tanks?
Yeah. That's the video. That's the video.
Yeah.
Would I consider Ghost in the Shell police?
Security forces.
I mean, but I feel like they're more along the lines of like NSA than they are like police officers.
We're just detectives that work for the federal government.
Okay, sure, the FBI, whatever, but I mean,
Burn up excess.
Yeah, this is it's like I don't know. I can't get, like, I see the argument. I do. You're technically right.
Like Pat Labor, we are police, but we also have giant robots for giant robot crimes.
I just can't give it to you. I can't give you Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
But it is literally that.
Yeah. Oh God, I really need to rewatch Pat Labor again. I'm due for a run for that.
They fight nationals. They fight bad guys. They trying to hack things.
Midnight blue.
It's gonna be a very weird time when the U.S. brings library wars to life.
Library wars.
Giving librarians guns to defend books against people who want to burn books.
Yep. Oh. Reverse Fahrenheit 9.
Wait a second. Isn't that just what Republicans want anyway when they're trying to arm teachers? Like, what if?
No, not to defend books.
Not to defend books.
But what if that's what happens?
But what's the best thing we could do? Give underpaid, underappreciated, stressed out, and chemically dependent, possibly dependent people weapons.
You can't give people weapons to defend their Second Amendment or their First Amendment rights. You wait a minute. You can't use the Second Amendment to defend the First.
What?
You can't do that. The Second Amendment is just for intimidating people.
That's brilliant.
That's the one thing you want to do. You want to give people guns that have to tell people to sit down and read and do math. And that's what you want to do? People who are underpaid and underappreciated, weapons?
Whoa. Just to be clear, they're not using it against the students. Kev.
How do you know?
Kev.
How do you know?
Kev.
How do you know,
Kev.
Major?
Do you understand, how quick they are to expel or to punish
words mean
students?
Things. I have to be responsible for what people are saying on my platform. I am saying explicitly that is not what we're saying. No. You may not want your channel, but I still want mine.
Wait. Diogen, is the yet for books can't defend themselves? Like, are we giving guns to books?
No, I mean, look at the second sentence.
No.
Look at the one underneath.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
No, but I fully expect that if we were to arm teachers, they would use them, like, against the students.
Oh my god.
That is where we are going.
Yeah,
you know what?
They're already weaponizing school policies against certain students. To put them into a pipeline. I have no doubt.
So if somebody feels threatened,
you know what? I don't know if we have this. I'm asking the question anyway. I need to change this fucking subject. All right, today's question, this week's question. I got some folks with some opinions on some tech here. Always do. But this question came as there's no article here, there's no story. But this is a question. If someone offered you $10,000 to never buy an iPhone again, would you take it? Now, while you think of the answer, I'll give the context here, especially for those who are listening. Warren Buffett gave an interview saying that if someone offered you $10,000 to never buy an iPhone again, you wouldn't take it. Apparently, the iPhone is that influential. He's talking to CNBC about this. Apparently, the iPhone is so influential to people's lives that if you were to offer them $10,000, they would not use it. They would not use anything other than an iPhone. If you own an iPhone, so this is like you would never buy an iPhone again. So this is like you were on an iPhone and you couldn't, like, that was it.
Yeah.
$10,000. Would you?
10,000.
Okay.
Easy.
Question: is it only iPhones or is it like iPads? Is it also iPads on the equation, or just iPhone?
He just says iPhone.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
The iPad.
All right, so actually, here's the full quote. Here's a full quote. Maybe we can get the full. If you're an Apple user and somebody offers you $10,000, but the only proviso is they'll take away your iPhone. So I guess you lose the iPhone that day. Mm-hmm. And you'll never be able to buy another. You're not going to take it. If they tell you buy another Ford car, they'll give you $10,000 not to do that. You'll take the $10,000 and you'll buy a Chevy instead.
So
no, I say give me the opportunity to get my data to some other service, but there's WhatsApp. There's all these other messaging things that you can use outside of that. If you need to go back to regular SMS, I will be a green bubble. That's fine.
I'll be a green bubble.
Contacts contacts are saved in the cloud. This says I can't use an iPhone. They didn't say nothing about iCloud, so I can easily export.
Yeah,
right.
As long as I can get my data, you can give me that 10,000, and you can have my phone.
Right, because look, here's my Galaxy S22.
Yeah,
right here. I have a Pixel 6a in the other room. But see, the question is, all right. So now that we've answered it for us,
right? Yeah, my answer was no.
What do you think? Do you think that Warren Buffett is right for the average iPhone user?
No, because I think the average iPhone user could use that 10,000 today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think they would learn to use another phone.
Specifically, if we're talking about the Apple ecosystem, you could probably still do what you need to do on an iPad. Like if you're saying we cannot have a specific iPhone, they would still take that money and just get like a Google Pixel or a Galaxy. I
disagree. Because of the fact that look at how vehemently especially I'm going to say kids, but like folks younger than us or younger than me. I feel like I'm still with even with West Coast Sin, I am the youngest person here.
by far.
Yeah.
Wow, you ain't had to see all that. You ain't had to see all that shit.
You're just a kid, Major.
Yeah.
Thank you. My back disagrees, but my knee disagrees.
You know,
My diabetes disagrees.
You're just a kid. You're just a kid with a wife and a child and a house.
A kid raising a kid.
Major, I think I've been married longer than your age, so don't worry.
Wow. Look here, young blood. Let me tell you something.
Anywho, as I was saying, folks younger than me, damn it, care so much about the green and blue bubble. Like the fact that Merge even said that is still an indicator of why I think people, like the average iPhone user, won't switch because of that perception of green versus blue bubble, or the fact that this does plug into everything. Apps come first to the iPhone for the most part. Everything, like, it's just, this is like just dumb phones. Like, this is like a smarter dumb phone for a lot of people. It's easy, intuitive. You can hand an iPhone to somebody and they can figure it out. Like the fact that, I mean, granted, it's an iPad, but my 6-year-old, then like 3-year-old son was able to figure out an iPad like it was nothing.
Yeah, my mom can like very well like navigate.
Yeah, so it's so
on an iPad.
So it's that thing of, sure, they could learn to love a new phone, and maybe in this environment, like this financial situation, this financial environment we're in, maybe there would be more people who would take the 10,000 and switch. But I still think that there's still way more people who won't, because it will require them to learn how to use another phone, to have to plug in all that data. Because remember, it's not going to be as simple as like hey, I signed in and all my apps showed up. Especially if they have never used an Android phone before. They have no backups. I really think that, there will be some, but I think there are way more people who will say, fuck that, I'm keeping my iPhone. It is not worth $10,000.
I think if you say the average person, I think the average person needs that 10K too much to do that. I would say, yeah, there are going to be people who are well off. And again, I am deep in the Apple ecosystem as far as that is my go-to phone for my family, because it's a zero friction environment.
Yep.
It's one login. I give them the phone. It's set up with the family sharing. It's set up with all of this.
Given that information, but given that information, given what you just said, if that was your wife, your mom, your dad, whoever, do you think they would take 10 grand to give up that frictionless environment?
Yeah, I mean, I think they would want that 10 grand. Like,
yeah,
people got bills. Like,
I forgot I'm talking to black folk. I forgot I'm talking to black folk. Like, we all take 10
trust
grand.
Me, we do a lot of things to flex.
Yeah, we'll take 10 grand. We'll take 10 grand. Right.
So it's like we'll spend 10 grand on some stupid stuff, but I think most people, especially, and I say, if you would say, okay, before pre-pandemic, before inflation, maybe people were like, nah, I'm not giving my phone. I think after, with how unstable the job market is, you'd be laid off at any moment. Again, whatever. People want that 10K.
Yeah.
People 10K. And forgive the reference.
Right.
People need that safety net. Like,
I
think people will be highly motivated to learn something for 10K.
Yeah, I feel like this would have been I feel like this would probably been a better question to ask in like 2018 or 2017. Like,
I mean,
when like eggs weren't a problem.
Yeah,
food wasn't a problem. Meat wasn't a problem.
Someone told me I was flexing because I made like a 4-egg omelet. Someone was like, "That's an unintended flex by using 4 eggs in an omelet."
See, I would never understand because I don't eat eggs, but
Yeah.
Eggs are stupid expensive right now.
Yeah, I don't think we
Yeah.
bought eggs in a long time, but like again, my wife is the only one who eats them, so it's like,
Dijon said, "Look, he is."
Like as somebody who eats eggs on at least a once a week basis, I could tell you like eggs are crazy expensive. Like
so okay. I'm still sticking with my answer. Again, again because like I will admit like it's that perspective, like where we've come from, who we interact with. I would say yes, my family would do it. I would do it. I mean, it's nothing for me. I still feel like there is a majority of people who won't, because as Aliox says, overwhelming majority would rather keep the routine. I think that there is still a huge contingent of people who would still like it's the image and the status of Apple as a luxury, like not, I wouldn't say luxury brand, but like as a brand, their brand is definitely strong.
yeah, privilege. Well,
on top of the fact that, you know, just it's that routine. It's something easy, frictionless. It's so many of your friends have it. It makes it's so much better, especially in the US. It's so easy just to be in an iMessage group chat and able to do everything you need to do. I think there, if you're looking at specific socioeconomic groups, sure, there are people who will be more inclined to do that than others.
I think as I think Dangerous Voice says, you know, it's really holding us back.
Yeah, it is.
As far as text messaging. Just
it is. Yeah, the rest of the world is laughing at us for being very, very fascinated with SMS.
Well, it's this whole the RCS standard which is coming out. Like if you've ever been in an SMS group with, you know, if you're in an iMessage group and then one of the people have an Android phone, like, and you look at it from the Android user's perspective, it is hilarious just how bad the experience is.
Well, at least Google has made it better with
Google
the messages
has made some things that are better. Like
yeah,
if you have a phone that's eligible to get those updates. But I'm like, you know, again, like looking at some of the pictures that you'll see, like, oh, you send an image to someone.
Yeah.
Oh, this is funny, and you're like, ooh, like it is really bad.
Yeah.
But I would say that, you know, if they're talking about giving me 10K and then getting me into another phone, like, so give me the equivalent phone and other devices that I need. Again, for me, it's, you know, give me the Android watch, the phone, and the 10K. I'm good. Like, I'll figure out how to use it. And I'll do what I need to do to convince my in-group to maybe migrate to another app. And that's going to be hard, right? Getting people out of iMessage.
And see, as a tech person, that's an easier ask than I feel like the average user. Because you'll see 10K. It's like, sure, I'll take 10K right now. But do you realize once you got that Android phone with all your iPhone friends, you be like, okay, maybe this was a mistake. Because now there's a whole bunch of work involved.
Yeah.
To try to get back to that equilibrium you had with all your iPhone users when you had an iPhone.
Because like a lot for me, like my day-to-day communications is like Facebook Messenger. I know, ew. And then like Discord and like random social media apps with this thing, which I'm like, I really just wish everybody was on the ones that I talk to the most were just on Discord, so that would just be like, great. Now I could just like, because if I'm talking to you on like TikTok or I'm sending messages on TikTok, I'm really just sending you funny videos.
Yeah.
Like I'm sending you funny videos, funny Insta Reels, whatever. You know, I'm on Instagram and I say, oh, that looks like X. I'm gonna send it to you, and then we kind of talk about it, whatever. But when I'm talking about deep, rich, spiritual conversations, I'm like Discord. Or hell, I'll even do WhatsApp with you if you don't want to like put out your number or whatever. But I just don't want to be sitting on talking on these social media apps. Like, why are we having deep spiritual conversations on Twitter? I don't want to do that because I ain't up for Twitter like that. It's like I'm reading it, I'm seeing what's on sale, I'm seeing what's on Fat Kid Deals. I've seen what the mutuals are posting, and then I'm out. Like, I'm done with that, and I'll just retweet or quote tweet or tweet out something, and then I'm done. But I really don't want to have conversations with people. So in that respect, I don't really have I don't have to worry about green bubble, blue bubble before. And so just give me a badass pixel and I'm good to go. Like flagship pixel and I'm straight.
Yeah.
Now
I think, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and if we were like, and if we could get if we like, okay, you can't get an iPhone, but you can get an iPad or a MacBook, I'd just be like, cool. I'll just message you from the iPad. Cool. And then we won't have those issues because I would still be the blue bubble because of iMessage.
Yeah, I think one thing with this too is the fact that this is Warren Buffett saying it.
Yeah.
Who is definitely out of touch.
Very much. But
I mean, he's made some smart investments, but again, I would say he's out of touch. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if somebody offered him 10 grand to not use his iPhone, he'd say no.
Right.
Because he has
what is 10 grand to him, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's less than pocket change. It's less than he'll find 10 grand, like someone dropped a penny.
Right.
He'll find that in the couch cushions. I'm like, whatever.
So yeah, like I think that that's one way to look at this too, is the fact that he doesn't get what $10,000 means to the average person.
Mm-hmm. That's not 10,000 is not life-changing money, but it is literally.
It could be though.
No,
it could be.
For right now, for me, that is life-changing money.
Right. It's more like we can breathe these next couple of months. We are fine. We got some breathing room.
It's good 6 months,
in
man.
this. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not
6 months.
Yeah.
So what Diogen here is saying is like in Europe, WhatsApp, Telegram is used more, but that's like here in CA we're an hour away from the border. Anyone who goes over the border, they switch to WhatsApp, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're not paying for that, that AT&T message plan or T-Mobile plan to go across the border, even when most of those things are included now for Mexico. But they let them leave the border of the United States. They've got no problem switching to WhatsApp.
Like
just when they come back, they switch back to iMessage.
Find me on Matrix.
So this,
that's my mom is talking to my neighbor, and my neighbor is from Trinidad, and so she goes off for like months at a time, and so she's like, contact me on WhatsApp, and so I set up the whole WhatsApp, and they talked, and they call her on WhatsApp, and they talk on WhatsApp. So it's like it's better than the international plan. Like,
I mean, people will adjust. I don't want to belabor the point, but I think $10,000. That's again, you're talking about your mortgage, your car note, for
student loans,
at least a couple months, maybe half a year.
Student loans, Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, WhatsApp was the thing before Meta bought it. Like, I'm pretty sure we would not be looking at WhatsApp with as much disgust.
I mean,
if Meta did not own WhatsApp.
I mean, a lot of us are like, a lot. I would say we are all kids of the 90s. Kids in the 90s, kids of the 90s, and we did like the Yahoo Messenger.
I'm on Signal, baby. What's up?
We did Yahoo Messenger, we did MSN, we did AOL, we did ICQ, and if you was like me, you had Pigeon, and you did it all.
Trillium.
You had it all. Right? Yeah. So like, it was nothing for us to get a microphone and talk with our friends on our computers, and that's what we're doing now.
To call.
Is there a Fediverse
Matrix,
app that can take the place of real-time messaging apps?
Matrix?
Is there something? So is Matrix that's what's it? Is that what we're pushing going forward? Get off iMessage. Use your same Fediverse account to log into Matrix.
Well, okay, it's not like that though. Matrix itself requires its own account, but it is federated though. But it's not.
Okay.
It's not taking place on ActivityPub, but it is still federated. Like I can still reach out to people from other instances, join other instances, public channels, and have those conversations. I mean, it's like Fediverse. It's like Discord, except like you literally have a server that is yours that you can create channels and then allow people with other accounts from other servers to come join your instance and participate in your public channels. Yeah, that's what I thought. Signal is encrypted end to end. It may not be open source. Wait. Hold on. Isn't that? I thought it was. While I look this up, one quick question, and then we're going to move on to games. What would you not give away or give up for $10,000?
Oh, that's a good question.
You said what you wouldn't give up for 10,000?
Yeah, what wouldn't you
I
give
think
up?
just like Ruin said, my computer. Like you can't say I can't use a computer again.
No,
Ruin had said that. Ruin said that earlier. Like that would be
Ruin.
That was
Ruin.
good. Not using, yeah, because I love, yeah.
Yeah,
Ruin.
no,
I'm so
I have to
sorry.
have a computing
I mean,
device.
not ruin, but to call. Excuse me. To call. I am so sorry. Signal software is free and open source. Its mobile clients are published under the GPL 3.0 only license, while the desktop client and server are published under the AGPL 3.0 only license. The official Android apps generally uses the proprietary Google Play services, although it is designed to work without them. Oh, sorry, buddy.
It's the proof. Where's the repo?
Repo right here. It's in the wiki, baby. I'm sorry, Ruined. I mean, Tycho. Gee, it's a call. Sorry. Yeah, I'd have to say my PC too.
Yeah, because I'm like, I do a lot with my PC, so yeah, I wouldn't.
The Android app, the desktop, the server. Oh, I can set up a Signal. Oh yeah, I did read that. So we can sit here and set up a Signal server?
I'm overwhelmed with the servers I have now. Too many choices now.
Oh boy.
Huh. I might check that out.
Okay, it does not seem like it's easy to do. I mean, there is no. I'm not seeing any real documentation for it.
Oh, for desktop? Ooh.
No, I mean for the Signal server.
Okay.
It's just one of those things where it's open source in name, but they don't actually ever expect you to run it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I use Signal. I was using Signal for my job or for Red Hat. But yeah, like I have a Signal account. I have a Signal on my phone, and like I am all for using any messaging app. I do not care. Like I have WhatsApp now because like trying to promote my business on Facebook and Instagram, they push you to use WhatsApp for like communication between customers. And I was like, oh, fine, whatever. I mean, eventually, I was going to have to get WhatsApp. Why not? Yeah. Sure, why not?
That's so it's so odd though. Isn't like WhatsApp where all of the scammers and YouTube comments are?
They're trying to crack down on that. I don't know. I've not used it that much.
Talk to me also, or is it Telegram?
Telegram.
It is Telegram.
Yeah,
it is Telegram.
It's Telegram, because I hear a lot about Telegram, a lot, and especially with the fault bright, you know, a lot of them kind of like roll on that. So.
Is Telegram open source? Let's see, their Android app is.
I mean,
or maybe not. I don't know.
it's one of those things. It's like it's used in the best. It's used in the best ways, but it's used for the worst ways.
No, it definitely is. Telegram apps are open source and support reproducible builds. Anyone can independently verify that Telegram apps you download from App Store or Google Play were built using the exact same code that we publish. And they have the source code for all of the apps here. So Signal is centralized apparently, and it requires a phone number. Yeah. Again, what was your issue with Matrix? Because I missed that. The only issue with Matrix is that you are supposed to be able to do video and audio chats and whatnot, but I have yet to get that working. Look, we're just talking about text-based chat right now, man. And also, Matt, leave my Matrix instance alone. Look, I'm working on it.
Sure.
We gonna fix that, man. Look, just be patient.
I'm just like I am like short of like the handful of like possible indie developers. My Twitter DMs are closed. Twitter DMs are closed, and I'm like, my besties, listen. If you text me, if you DM me on Twitter, I'm not gonna answer it.
I mean, the one thing with Mastodon is that, like, it is known that your DMs are not necessarily encrypted or private, that somebody can read them. And I think they're talking like the master admins could read it. So a lot of folks are setting up alternate ways to DM folk, like to to be able to be DM'd outside of Mastodon. And I think some people are using Matrix.
Because like I say, I just don't want to be all up and on like Twitter and Insta to like having like deep, rich conversation when we could legit just be on Discord, especially if I know you and we're in the same Discords anyway. Like
I'll just have like a conversation with anybody anywhere. Just look, you want to talk, we can just talk. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I was talking with a client through Instagram DMs. So
and I mean that's fine. I mean that's fine if it's like Instagram DMs. If it's like clients or peeps, because I like people text me, that's fair. People hit me up on, Facebook and Instagram and whatever else. But I'm telling you, my mutuals, the people that I'm talking to on a regular basis, the people that I rock with and stand 10 toes down for, do not hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Discord. We right here. Like we right here. I'm trying to incorporate Discord with around all my other mutuals, and that's fair. And I will even go to the messaging app of your choice if you just so I don't have to keep being on Twitter and trying to have conversations on Twitter, because that's not where I'm trying to be at.
I think one of the uses, like for the brand accounts, to reach out and do customer service over Twitter. It's like, oh, you're having a problem, DM me your ticket number or whatever, DM me your issue. You can't do that on Mastodon, because it's just like there's no way that I'm doing that if someone can read that link.
Right.
It's like, oh, my shipping info is wrong. Here's the link. And then your Mastodon clicks on it.
Wow, Major, shut up, stop it. It's like, so
I was not sure if that was going to actually pay off in time.
Yeah, so Major was like, "That's sad. You won't talk to me here." And he said that on TikTok, and I'm like, "The way, Major, no,
that's sad.
No,
that's sad."
Like if we just happen to be like, oh, a paragraph about a thing or 2 sentences, fine. But if we're like talking about things,
you know what? I'm gonna each week I'm gonna switch messaging apps if they're in social networks or not. I'm just gonna start talking to people through DMs of those apps, and just see how that goes.
I mean, for some it'd be fine, but for others I'm like,
and I'm gonna switch. Like I'm gonna like people I have a regular conversation with. I'm gonna switch it up on. Like
Oh,
mid
no,
conversation,
don't do that.
I'm gonna switch it up.
Don't do that.
This is why
no.
I'm glad I'm so old I don't have a TikTok. So
Oh no, like look, we were like, oh, Instagram one day, and then the next week is here. I switch over to TikTok. Next week shows up, I switch over to Facebook Messenger.
And then it's like, why? What are we doing?
Then I ask you for a phone number. Then I send you an SMS.
A wild.
And then the next week I'll switch over to my Android, send you an SMS from that number.
Right. But that's what I definitely appreciated about what Sin did, because Sin had texted me happy birthday on my birthday through SMS, through like the very quickly abandoned TikTok Thursday group text chat.
It wasn't quickly abandoned. It was like, hey, this is an emergency communication in the event Discord breaks.
Right.
Which it worked when Discord did break.
When Discord did break and we were able to stay in communication with each other, that was fine. But when Discord does not break, we don't use it.
Which is true. It's only there for emergencies.
So I do appreciate that Sin was like, I don't take for granted that he may not know who I am or have me in his contacts. So they just said, all right, hey, happy birthday, Cam. Also, this is Sin. And I appreciated that.
Y'all are the only people I have in my phone who do not have actual names. Mm-hmm. The only person who has an actual name in my phone is Anka, because we have sent mail. Actually, I mean, we've met. We know what our each other's names are.
Yeah.
But yeah, like between you and Sid, like I have no idea what your names are, and it's like,
yeah,
it's been this long. I'm not gonna ask. It doesn't matter.
Funny enough, I know everybody's full name, but y'all don't know mine.
Wow.
You do know my full name. You do know my full name.
I do not.
You don't?
No. I may have. No, when I've sent you things, I've sent it like to Kevy Kev.
Oh, okay.
Because I may have seen your name once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I know Sin's name.
Yeah.
Like I know where I can find Sin's name. I can find it like in a second.
Forgot. I probably forgot. I know Sin's like first name, but I don't know Sin's.
And I think it's the first. I think it's only his first name I know.
Yeah,
I might have seen his last name too, but yeah,
I've seen his last name, but I forgot. Yeah. I forgot what his last name is, but I know his first name, and I know Anka's full name.
Yeah. Anywho, that's all the names we know. Let's get to games.
That's all the names. Let's get to the games.
How classified Pentagon documents spread through a Minecraft Discord server.
Yo, did you get that? Did you get that Perlamania TikTok that I sent you?
I think so, but I forgot.
Yeah, I totally sent it to you. Watch that later, cause it's like
did you send it, like, was that the last one you just sent?
Yeah, it was the last one. I sent.
Then I have not seen it. Yeah, I saw the video and I text you what I text you.
This is legit like clout. This is a story about clout.
Yep.
This is a story about weird flex, but okay, bro.
Yeah.
This is boredom, and this is all white privilege. This is a mixture, a literal bubbling, brewing cauldron. And I want an HBO Max or Max documentary about this guy, because I want to like Wall Street Bets. That's what I want. I want a Wall Street Bets type documentary about the shenanigans of this freaking thing. Because when I looked into it, I was like, I know you freaking lying. I know you lying. Really? Wow.
The main point here I want to cover, and I have another article for it, but I guess now that it's here, Jack Teixier, I cannot pronounce that.
Don't try it.
A 21-year-old Air National Guardsman has been named as a
Right.
prime suspect for the leaks and arrested, according to the New York Times. He was identified as a leading figure in the now deleted Discord server, and I need you to sit down, buckle up for this. Thug Shaker Central, where the leak may have originated. Now, Ruin had pulled something out of this one here. The National Guard member arrested for leaking classified documents on Discord. See if I can find it. According to a report from the Washington Post, the original leaker was known as OG within that private Discord server, Thug Shaker Central, where he also served as the administrator. The suspect reportedly posted typed up versions of the documents to the server, but he later transitioned to sharing actual photos with the group after growing frustrations by the members' lack of interaction with them. The background of these photos, which contain interior decorations, countertops, and flooring, helped the FBI make the connection to the suspect. Oh my God.
Do people not understand what classified means?
I mean, there are at least two people.
They don't.
Well, I mean, this is not something that's unique to this. There's been several instances where people have done the same thing in War Thunder, sharing classified military schematics just to prove an argument about a piece of military gear. Like there was one where they were mad that one of the ships in the game was inaccurate, and to prove it, they shared classified details about the ship in the forum to prove it.
That sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard that before too.
I don't like. You would think that people who deal with this material would be smarter than this, but like I said, it's just people are chasing clout. I don't think it's worth jail time. Nah, we can let this paint color be wrong. Like, we don't have to describe the reflective paint of a warship or something like that, just to win an argument.
Not everything has to be historically accurate. It could just be okay. It could just be kind of okay. We could let it go. You know.
I think so. Daijin, like 3 times that we know of, 3 times that it just made the news.
But what gets me is that because nobody was interacting with what he typed in there, is that okay? So nobody's gonna say anything. Well, fine. Here's pictures of the doc. Also, just so we're clear, and again, I want to mention, you know, when we say things about, hey, you may want to not be on Discord if you're going to do things you don't want people to know about. This server was deleted.
No such thing as deleting on the internet.
Screen caps are forever.
But this wasn't a screen cap. They just bought the server back.
No.
This
This is exactly why they don't delete servers like this. Because if they get that subpoena, they want to pass that buck as quickly as they can to somebody else.
You trust and believe when I'm done with something, that thing is gone.
They literally, like, Discord literally did what Thanos did in like Infinity War. They literally just said, you destroyed. Oh man, you destroyed your husband. I'm so sorry about that. Time stone. Zip that. Snatch. Time. They time stone that bad boy right back to life and said, I'm gonna snatch that. I'm gonna snatch this.
Dust off this hard drive real quick called deleted Discord servers.
Yep.
Dumb fucks, man.
Don't be out here talking restless and disc on text. What are you doing? Have we not learned from Fox News? Hello?
Well, they still learn. But anywho, Redfall is locked to 30 FPS on Xbox Series X and S at launch.
Well,
with the 60 FPS performance mode to be patched in later.
think this is that Series S bringing down the X.
Ooh.
I love the Series S, but wrong bet. Wrong bet.
I mean, that being whatever it is, I still feel like this game should have at least waited until they had all of the features that they wanted to have in this game in it. It's not to say that they can't fix it, but I feel like a 60 FPS performance patch should have been in the game from the jump.
This is, we are running out of money, and we need to see if it's worth optimizing this for 60 frames per second before we spend that effort. This is a business decision that says we need to start making money off of this game as soon as possible. So we're going to get it out to people. They're going to buy it and play it, and we will patch it if people buy it and play it. And if they don't, we're washing our hands of it. We're done.
They're gonna Red Dead to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like they're committed to releasing 60 FPS. Like, that is a feature that is happening. But they're only releasing one of the modes, which is the quality mode.
Ooh, I'm scared. Diogen Ride made a good point.
Yeah, I see that.
I feel like this game's gonna run badly on PC too. I'm like, there's optimization.
Is this a Xbox exclusive?
Yes.
Yes.
There were reports a couple of weeks ago saying that once Microsoft bought ZeniMax, they were ordered to scrap the PS5 version.
Okay, I was going to say that if this is an Xbox exclusive, there's a good chance it may not run too badly on PC. But if it had a PS5 port in the past, then maybe not. But also, it's a ZeniMax game, so who knows? It's probably going to run like crap.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing with this is, you put out consoles that this should be like, it's capable of 4K 60. Why are you not talking? Like, well, I would say, why are they not talking to the publishers that, hey, you need to make sure your devs have enough time to get it to where this needs to be, because it's making us look like fools. Right. We can't deliver 4K 60 games.
Right.
But this is an Xbox game. This is coming out of the house of the X. This is Uncle Phil's game.
Yes.
So what is he doing?
He's sitting up there having fist fights with like fucking House. Oh no, not House. Flying Jim Ryan.
Yeah.
He's literally out here like, hey yo, I gotta like, they're yelling across the club at each other.
Like, I don't think this is a good move. I mean, again, I understand the business decisions of it all, but I'm looking at, you have a console that you're promising 4K 60, or at least like being able to play 60 FPS or more games. Mm-hmm. That was your big marketing push for this console, for you to still have games that are only running at 30 FPS.
Mm-hmm. On the X. That's wild.
Like, again, I'd forgive it if it was the S. Like, it's not as powerful. Great, that's whatever.
Right.
But you're talking about your X, you're talking about your premier console.
That's
and you're giving, like, you're only, like, it wasn't supposed to be either 4K or 60 FPS. It was supposed to be either 4K or 120.
That part.
4K 60, that was the thing you were guaranteeing me.
Like, even on the S, though, they're saying 1440p 30. And I think that's...
What is what I'm saying? Like, again,
slow for the S.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, with 30 FPS, it's whatever.
Yeah.
The S is, like you said, the S was just a bad decision.
Right.
Altogether.
The S is the S. It's underpowered. It's underpowered. But we're talking about, it's a 30 locked in for the X. Your beef boy. Your big boy. And I'm like, why is that locked behind? Why is that not your 60 frames standard? And then S gets a patch, down the line whenever we get to it, kind of, sort of, maybe, because that's what's happened. We have seen that happen, where X gets to 60, and then S gets a like performance boost ish. performance boost down the line, and then everybody's like, "Oh yeah, this is nice. Oh, we like that. Thank you, Xbox for doing that for us." And you go in knowing what you're going with the S, but the X is locked at 30, and that's your beef boy. That's your $500. That's your $500 big boy, and that's locked at 30.
Yeah, all I can just say, like, look, if they're gonna do that, then hopefully, like, it's like right around the corner, like in 2 weeks.
Yes,
they put it out.
What I'm hoping. Right.
Which, of course, at that point, it was like, well, why didn't you just delay it 2 weeks? But
right.
Yeah.
I think it was just that thing where, like, we've literally pushed this as far as we can push it. We cannot push it any further. We have to drop something.
What? I will give them this, because like the more I think about it, the more I try to think of like what's going on through the minds of the developers when it comes to this. And like Kev, you kind of hit it on the head, which made me think about it. It may be a thing where, okay, we've tried. We're getting close. It's just not there yet, and we won't be able to make it. Mm-hmm. Like everything else is finished. It's getting the performance mode to work.
Right.
And it's like, I may be like, okay, maybe more time will be fine, but it may be just like that. Look, we've been trying at this for a while. Like, we've been trying this since before the game was completely finished. Mm-hmm. It's taken us 6 months. We're still struggling to get it up to 60, or at least something respectable before Digital Foundry tears us to shreds.
And they will.
So
they'll be very polite about it.
Yeah, very polite, but will tear us to shreds. So let's just lock it. Let's just keep it locked 30. Make sure it's stable. It still plays. It'll still be fun. And we'll try to get the 60 FPS mode out when we finally figure out what the actual specific optimizations are. Mm-hmm. So that's the only way I can see it.
I like what Young says here, but it's too late. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will be what people were playing, which is great because it's going to be a 24 frame per second Switch game.
Well,
right there.
It's going to be a fun Switch game, though.
Right there. Exactly that.
You got a week to play Redfall before Tears of the Kingdom come out. Wait,
Tears of the Kingdom.
That is May 12th, right?
Yes.
Okay. I make sure I saw. I was trying to remember if I saw that today, because they did release that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 FPS is cinematic experience. What are we talking about?
Because that's kind of where we are. Where it's like we're sitting up here like, back and forth about 4K 30, 1440p 30, and then we're gonna look into a game that's cost $70 that's gonna run like 25 frames a second.
Well, keep in mind, Redfall will also cost you $70 probably.
But not
with Game Pass.
Yeah, not with Game Pass. Okay,
but not with Game Pass. So we're literally like,
who has an Xbox that doesn't have Game Pass? Game Pass is the reason to have an Xbox.
There are still people.
There are still people. Yeah, but where we pretty much like, man, 30 frames, that's a little low. And then it's like Tears of the Kingdom, which is like 25 frames, struggling under the weight of an open world.
The new Pokemon game built on the Zelda engine and didn't have terrible performance?
It's Arceus.
No, Scarlet and Violet were both terrible too.
Yeah,
I think worse than Arceus or whatever the fuck the name of the game is.
Arceus. You were right. You had it. Arceus. Arceus. Yeah, the textures. Oh god, I played Sword and we got into the WoW area, and we were good on the non-WoW area moments, but once we got to the WoW area, that's when we were smooth 25, like 23 to 25 frames, and it was still kind of fun, but it was like, this ain't it, Chief. Like
Scarlet and Violet, I think we're hitting single digits at a certain point.
Yeah. Because it's all open world. Entirety of it is open world. To where like people like to the point where like there were not only draw distance pop-ins, but there were Pokemon pop-ins. where you would like walk into a particular area and Pokemon would just pop up.
I'm at a point where, okay, we now have the open world Pokemon game. Can we go back and just like do a 2D like Game Boy Advance type situation? Like just a modern,
we can go back.
like a modern retro game.
No,
unless it's a remake. I don't think people want to go back to that.
I mean, or like, definitely do a remake. Definitely do a remake.
Pearl.
I don't care. Like I would want to see that on the Switch. Yeah. Like bigger, like there are more things that can be on the screen, and it's not like the small little Game Boy screen.
But in that vein of a Game Boy game, yeah, Brilliant Diamond and Silver? Brilliant Diamond. Yeah. No, Pearl and Diamond. Diamond and Pearl.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what we had, and they did not.
What is that?
And no, that was the DS. That was Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That was the DS version.
I was like, I know I didn't pull that out of nowhere.
That was the DS remake of Pokemon. Pokemon Diamond, not that. Soul, yeah, Heart, Gold and Silver.
You can't highlight my message.
I'm doing it anyway.
You can't highlight my ignorance.
Let's see. Digit also says people who are still on Xbox Gold Live, which I think is technically given. It's not, but what's going on, Infamous? How you doing? Well, because you mentioned Game Pass, you've activated my trap card for the next title, for the next story. Ubisoft Plus Multi-Access is now available on Xbox, and it's not a part of Game Pass.
So it's just on. So it's just on there.
It's just there.
Yeah.
The Ubisoft Plus library allows players to dive into flagship titles like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry 6, and The Division 2, and includes access to premium edition content and DLCs, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Dawn of Ragnarok. Check out the full list of available games below, and there's a lot of them.
67 versions of Assassin's Creed. Division 1 and 2. That's about it.
Yeah. For me, Anode and Settlers, like
a subscription costs $17.99 US plus tax each month, and will auto renew until canceled.
I'm just gonna. You know what I do? I'm just gonna buy like the two. I'm just gonna finish up buying the other DLC to the game that I like. It's like Anno 1800, and then like whenever Settlers gets half off, and then the new Settlers that gets half off, I might jump on those. Other than that, that's about it.
I told people it wasn't going to be a part of Game Pass. They didn't want to believe me. Yeah, I was very upset when I read it. It's like, yep, nobody's talking about Game Pass on this site. This bums me out.
Because the way people were talking about it was like, oh, it's on Xbox. Oh, it's on Game Pass. And it's like, no.
And it costs more for less titles. Yeah, Ubisoft, you feeling yourself way too much on that one. But we have a reason. We got a reason. Ubisoft explains why Ubisoft Plus can succeed without being bundled with Game Pass. Ubisoft Plus director Philippe Tremblay, and I had to put the French accent on it because he's French.
Is that what that was? Okay.
GI.biz that the game subscription market isn't maxed out yet, and Ubisoft is trying to secure its own piece of the pie. Quote, we haven't necessarily seen that this market has reached the maximum opportunity here. It's still fairly new across the board that we have subscription offers even from Xbox or other partners out there. My guy, you are selling your subscription service for $18 a month. There were, let's see, I'm legit gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. You have 65 titles.
I was almost right about 67 different versions of Assassin's Creed. Now, I guess the question for you is, how much time have you put into Watch Dogs series?
Which one?
Just in total, both of them.
I have played Watch Dogs 1 once. I've played Watch Dogs 2 multiple times.
Yes.
How many hours does that represent?
I don't know. I really don't know.
And then how many hours have you put into Game Pass games? And what would that comparison be? And I think
I
that's
put
kind
more
of
time into Game Pass than I put into any Ubisoft title.
Think about the hours that people are putting into Assassin's Creed. And I can tell you that, the latest 2 Assassin's Creed, I have put an embarrassing amount of hours into those games. Like Division 2, when that first came out, that was my game. And I put an embarrassing amount of hours into that game.
Same.
I'm talking,
Same.
hundreds of hours per game.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I've not spent that much time on Game Pass games. So I can see what they're getting at, which is like our titles are strong enough to our player base to carry us at $18 a month. I think that's way too much for a subscription service for one company. But I can see what they're getting at, where they're saying that the people who are like our games are going to put the hours in and are going to make it worth it. The question is, do they have enough people who are willing to pay that $18 a month to make it worth it? And I don't see it for just Ubisoft games. But they obviously they know their player base, they know their projected subscription counts more than we do.
Yeah. But
damn it, that's a good fucking point.
Yeah.
Right.
That is a good fucking point.
I am not that far behind you.
Yeah, because if you're gonna play like if you're gonna play a new Assassin, whatever,
which I imagine would probably go here.
Yeah, and if you're a lover of these games, and then you just basically pay one flat fee a month, and then you don't have to worry about DLC, and you don't have to worry about DLC. Just pay your flat fee. Yeah. I know that probably did really good numbers around like Legion and Valhalla.
Yeah. Put it this way: it's like I own the premium ultimate editions for Valhalla, Origins, the what's the one, the Greek mythology game. I can't remember the name of it at the point in time. Immortals, Phoenix Immortals, or whatever that is. That, like the Division 2.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising's Division 2, and all of them I own both PC and Xbox. That's how much I was playing those games. Like the premium $70 to $100 versions of those games. That's how much time I was spending, and it was worth it because those were the only games I was playing when those games were out. And if the Division 2 hadn't fallen off the face of the earth as far as player counts and guild activity, like it just it was packed, and then it wasn't.
Yep. That part.
And if they did anything to keep those people, I would have still played the Division after that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That is not true. Has Ubisoft not put out a game since 2020?
Settlers is out.
Yeah, I was on the Gamertag Radio PC
when did
group.
6 come out?
What do you mean 6?
Far Cry.
Wait a second. Okay, wait. Okay, whatever they are using for sorting this list on Wikipedia is just ass.
Okay, because that was 2021.
Because I'm looking at, because like 23 shows up like right here.
And then when did Immortals come out? Like Immortals was like what?
Yeah, like some of these, like some ain't right here.
Yeah, hold on.
Like I'm
release 2022.
Yeah, Just Dance 2023 edition came out in 2022. Oh, Mario plus Rabbids came out in 2022.
Yeah. Sparks of Hope. Yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah,
That list came out this
I'm
year.
not sure what the fuck this list is on, but
Yeah, that list is fake. I was like, wait a minute.
Roller Champions.
Roller Champions, yeah.
Which isn't on this list.
No.
Because I'm trying to figure out, like, would they put the latest games on here? Like, Extraction is the oldest game, is the newest game that's on that list.
Oh yeah, Extraction, yeah.
I'm surprised. Wait, is Just Dance on here? Just Dance is not on this list.
Oh, see, that list is borked. if a Just Dance is not on there, that list ain't it.
That's the latest game that's come out on console. None of their console, Oddballers.
Hey, when did Legion come out?
If Just Dance was on there, would you expect to get all of the DLC included?
That's what they're offering.
Yeah.
So
I guess
it includes access to premium edition content and DLCs, including Dawn of Ragnarok.
And I think that's why Just Dance isn't on that list. Because I don't think $18 a month is actually going to cover the licensing fees for that music.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a weird thing. Like is Trackmania on this list?
I think so.
No? Yep, Trackmania Turbo. Okay. I mean, this says Trackmania.
I mean, for me, it's like that $18 a month ain't really hitting with me because
if they launch new titles on this service day and date.
Yeah, because I only play day and date.
That might justify it.
Right. Day and date, yes. Like Mirage day and date, yes. Skull and Bones day and date, yes. I can see that. But
let's see.
As it is now, but
really, I gotta put them.
I think for me, it has only been like two games. It's only been like two games. It's Anode and possibly Settler. Like beforehand, it was Anode and Division 2, but now it's like Anode and probably Settlers.
Yep. Here we go. It's confirmed. Actually, on their PC access, play new releases on day one, but their multi-access, which is like their ultimate, like Xbox's Game Pass Ultimate, play new releases on day one.
Okay.
So for $18 a month, you get access to everything. When new games come out, you get it day one. So would that be worth the $18?
No, because I only play like two games.
But there's a 10% discount on virtual currency packs. You can't pass that up.
Mm-mm.
You need your U-Bucks.
Mm-mm. If you change U to V, yeah.
I think what's also a bummer with this too is that you would not be able to play these games on Xbox on the cloud.
Mm-mm.
You'd have to use Luna for it. Which actually technically ain't that bad, because if you're using Luna, if you're using Game Pass in one place, you could also use Luna there too. Well, the people have spoken. Ubisoft Plus multi-access. It's a pass. It's a hard pass.
It's a nah for me, dog.
In Steam Deck news, Valve is about to slash the file sizes of Steam Deck's SSD hogging shader caches in half. Now, I would not say this is a Valve thing. Valve is not technically doing this. It is technically Mesa.
Yeah, I was about to say this is the Mesa update is doing that.
This is the Mesa update. A recent report on Phoronix highlighted an update coming in Mesa 23.1, which re-implements the RADV pipeline cache based on common VK underscore pipeline underscore cache. And I will say this exactly like they wrote it, because even me got a little confused initially. There are probably a whole bunch of words in that sentence that don't mean much to you. Most importantly, Mesa is an OpenGL and Vulkan video driver that Valve, AMD, Intel, Microsoft, and others contribute to in a rare act of unity, and this change affects how the now widely used Vulkan driver caches files. In the Steam Deck's case, Valve has created big shader cache files for individual games that are delivered during the installation process, improving performance and helping avoid the dreaded shader compilation stutter. The downside to these shader caches is how much space they take up, potentially multiple gigabytes for larger games. With the new Vulkan pipeline cache, however, they're about to get a lot smaller. But yeah, the weird thing is like they're attributing this to Valve. It's like, no, it's just shit that's coming to Linux. What the fuck? Shut up. Or it's coming everywhere because it's Vulkan. Anything that uses Vulkan will get this update. So yeah.
I think for most gamers though, that's how they're going to experience this. Like,
yeah.
Obviously this benefits me because I primarily game on Linux, so my desktop experience is going to get better. So yeah, thanks. But most everybody else, they're going to see this on Proton on their Steam Decks.
But would you see this?
Change, though.
I mean, yes, it'll fix some of the stutter, but I think what it is more. I think the point they're making here is not so much it fixes the stutter, because the stutter was technically fixed on the Steam Deck. Mm-hmm. It's just that it took big files to do it. Now, people like me, thanks to very generous benefactors and donors to the Majors House Network, have big enough internal storage devices in their Steam Deck, so that's not as big an issue as it was prior to upgrades. So there's a lot of people with 64 gigabyte SSD still who are getting a reprieve.
You still have to load those precompiled shaders in. So
yeah, but like it's not taking up as much. Like
right.
Me with my terabyte is not going to look as bad as somebody with a 64.
Right, but in this case, so one, you see it on your Steam Deck by being able to have more games downloaded because your shader cache isn't as large. But also you see this because, again, you're going from a slower SSD or an SD card into the Steam Deck, and if you have large files, that takes longer, even though it is faster than having to compile those shaders yourself.
Right.
So you should still see that benefit.
Yeah.
And that does also carry over to Linux desktop as well, where you're not having to, again, load those larger shader caches. And again, it's not as prevalent. It's not going to be as problematic.
Right.
But it's still something that you're going to do, and your gaming experience should be better, no matter what. If you're on Steam Deck or if you're on desktop Linux. As long as your graphics card is using one of the that can actually take advantage of the Mesa update. So in this case, the AMD cards, which you should be using anyway.
I mean, on Linux, sure. Like confusion in NVIDIA, confusion in RTX, ray traced confusion. But it's still safe to say that this is not Valve doing this. This is Mesa. Correct? No, not correct.
No, it is Mesa. I'm thinking. I'm looking at Dige's comment here.
Yeah, I did too.
If you have a choice between like the OpenGL version or the Vulkan version, obviously with the Vulkan version being optimized, I think that the advantage that the OpenGL versions have is that they've been out for forever, so they're very well optimized. And those first Vulkan ports for many of these games are rough as people get used to the API. But yeah, in general, the Vulkan version is going to be better for you if the developer has been able to put the time into actually making sure that it's running without a hitch. So yeah. Agree there.
All right, and that's it for games. It's time for some updates. Hey, if you were running those iPhones out there, you know, if you did not take that 10 grand to give up your iPhone, there's a new update. 16.4.1 with fixes for Siri response issues and other bugs. One of those bugs being an actively exploited security vulnerability. Also, yes, there's a new update for macOS to update your shit. Let's see. The first was an I/O surface accelerator flaw that allowed the possibility for apps to execute arbitrary code with kernel privileges. The second was a WebKit flaw that could see the processing of malicious code, also leading to arbitrary code execution. For both flaws, Apple says it is aware of a report that this issue may have been actively exploited, so get these updates installed as soon as possible to be on the safe side. Excuse me. And for those who are packing older phones who could use 10 grand to update their phones, Apple releases iOS 15.7.5, macOS 11.7.6, and macOS 12.6.5 with security improvements. I believe, yes, this also fixes those vulnerabilities discussed in the previous story. So again, update yo shit.
Yep.
Just update a phone. What are you doing?
Yep.
And Android 13 with April security patches live right now. Better late than never. You can download the Pixel OTA image now. There are 29 security issues resolved in the Android 13 April patch dated from April 1st, 2023, and 39 for April 5th, 2023. Vulnerabilities range from moderate to critical. So Pixel 7, Pixel 6a, and Pixel 6 Pro. You can go now. You can get your updates. Pixel 5a, Pixel 5, 4a, 5G, and the 4a. You can get your updates too. So Kev, update your shit. You know what, Kev? I think I just realized you might be coming up on that mythical range of not getting updates anymore. Oh, Ruin. Why'd you remind me about that?
Ruin, your MacBook cable is probably more powerful than most Android phones, so don't worry about it.
Wow.
Well.
And a deal. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. This is another update. I just saw Xbox and thought it was a deal, but no, it's an update. Your Xbox is getting an update. You have a refresh Xbox search experience and adjustable active hours power setting for your Xbox console. So yeah, you got better search and you can change your active hours, I guess. That's fine. Nothing really to write home about, but yeah, you can search for Halo.
Did they give you a setting to just download the update already? Please.
It should be out already.
Please just download the update. So they've done a lot of stuff with their power tuning thing where.
I mean, you should just be able to go into settings and just like click up.
Yeah.
Let's like tap update now, and it should just grab it automatically.
Okay.
For deals, Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein PS Plus's extra games coming in April. That's right. Even though ZeniMax is no longer making games for the PS5 or for PlayStation in general, you can still get your hands on some primo ZeniMax titles that have already come out, like Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein. Kena Bridge of Spirits and Riders Republic are also available. Ooh, excuse me. Along with Slay the Spire, Monster Boy, and the Cursed Kingdom, The Evil Within. Wow, this is actually a lot of ZeniMax, because The Evil Within? What? Those are the premium level subscription, the top tier in the PlayStation Plus membership that Sony rebooted back in June 2022. Can pick up 4 classic titles, all of them playable on PS4 and PS5, which is Doom, Doom 2, Doom 64, Doom 3, and Dishonored Definitive Edition.
Did you ever play Kena Bridge of Spirits?
I played a little bit of it. I haven't on Epic, but because again, I mean, I play a lot of my games on Steam. I keep forgetting that I have games on Epic that I could play and do not go in there. How about you?
Yeah, I played it. I think I'm right at the last boss, but it's one of those things where it's the combat is just so frustrating.
It looks pretty though.
It is. It does look pretty, but that's one of those things where it's like it basically came from basically a bunch of artists who wanted to make a game, and I think they did like a great job for the most part, except for some of the combat where there's just so many just little glitches and little ways in which your character moves where you're just like please just spend two more weeks fixing the combat and it would be a perfect game.
How about you, Kev? Have you played Kena?
No, not yet. It's on the list, but a list of possibles, but I ain't got the time or the patience.
Diagent, I am the same way. I have God Galaxy 2, and I keep forgetting I got that. Like you can see I mean, I've opened this text box. You can't see it now, but like once that text box goes away, you will see that the Steam launcher is there on my taskbar. It is one of the pinned apps on my taskbar. It is like Epic is open, but I had it open because we played Fortnite last week and haven't closed it yet.
Yeah, Kenna's it's worth a spin. Like if you're ever bored, just install. It's a big install, but it's worth playing. At least partially through to just see what it's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like GOG is my my Cyberpunk launcher.
I have that on Steam.
I open the GOG. Yeah, I launch GOG every now and then. It updates Cyberpunk. I think I've got Baldur's Gate beta or Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever the new one that's been out. That one does a big update, and I just close the launcher.
Now,
and then my ISP is just like, why are you wasting bandwidth? You're never going to play these games.
Now, like, because for Major Lounge, our game, the Major's House Game Club, we're playing The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 would have been the GOG game, but because I wanted to play it on the Steam Deck, it did not want to install Heroic Launcher and try to get it working or Lutrix. I was like, you know what? I will just buy this on Steam to avoid this problem. Luckily, when I did it, it was like on sale for like $5. I was like, well,
I did the
that
exact
was
same
easy.
thing. Yeah, yep. I had The Witcher 3 on GOG too, but it was like $5. Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
How did you get The Witcher on GOG?
How did I get The Witcher on GOG? I think it came free with something. I don't know.
Okay.
I got it because if you mapped your Xbox account to GOG Galaxy and let it scan your library and you had owned The Witcher 3, it would give you a free copy of it on PC.
I know that's not what I did. I don't know what I did to get it, but I don't think I paid for Witcher 3 on GOG.
And then I got the first Witcher because I have The Witcher 3 on GOG.
That also the same.
Because that was recent. That was like around the time the new console update came out. They were doing.
But it's also they were getting pretty desperate to get people to use their service outside of
I'm
random
getting emails like
games.
once a day, like, "Hey, you've got an exclusive discount code for this." I'm not going to play this game. Like, what are you doing?
No.
And free play days for Microsoft for the Xbox console. Them's Fighting Hurts and Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition. Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip this weekend. I said I'm gonna play games on one of these weekends on Xbox. I never do. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I forget I have them Fighting Herds on Epic.
Yes, I have that game somewhere too, and I don't remember where it is.
Yeah, that's like all I need is a fight stick, and I'm playing them's Fighting Herds. Like, it's on the list.
Well, that's a show.
It is.
Merge. What you got going on in your life? What's happening?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we hinted about that earlier. You know, we got some new stuff. Major is gracious enough to deploy some infrastructure for me. So getting that set up. Hopefully by next week we will have, you know, website, Mastodon, GitLab up and running. Oh, they're up and running, but fully configured. I'm working on actual YouTube channel, so we'll see how that goes. So
Oh,
hopefully we'll have some videos up next week,
okay.
and we will see. So
Nice.
yeah, trying to get all that up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Way more complicated than I thought it would be, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I did mine so long ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Taco, you have a good evening.
All right,
It's a call. Jeez.
Cow.
Cow.
Yeah.
Write that down somewhere.
Yep.
Kev,
Yes, sir.
what you got going on this week?
I think I'm gonna start taking a better crack at least part of my yard, because I've been like trying to figure out like how I like change the oil in the riding lawnmower, but then it's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna go with it, and because the thing says, oh, it's 50 hours, and it's like we haven't cut nowhere near 50 hours, so I'm just gonna let it rock. Because my yard is getting a little bit out of control, at least part of it. So I'll just like cut the part that is the rough edge, and then I'll just kind of like clean and trim and whatever else. And dealing with a leaky sink faucet, but I don't know how bad is it yet. But probably gonna have to replace all that pipe. You know, playing a bunch of really cool indie games and prepping for the time suck that is Roots of Pacha, which, if you're not familiar, it's think Stardew Valley but in prehistoric times, and that'll kind of get you caught up. So that's a good chance it's gonna take over my life in 2 weeks. So get ready for that. Get ready to see a lot of Roots of Pacha. Another game that came out that I'm probably got my eye on is called Fabledom, which is like a more well put together Foundation. If you've ever played Foundation, which you should, because I recommend that as well. And yeah, just, you know, staying out of trouble, keeping busy, and trying not to let the allergens like take me out. So, and of course play doing the Fortnite seasonal stuff. And I unlocked Lizard Zaddy. So, you know, there's no reason why a lizard had that much drip like that. I've unlocked the
Congrats.
two lizard skins. I got the 2 lizard skins. So yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I just gotta dabble with finishing up seeing if this will be the season where I actually finish another battle pass. I did that with Paradise, and I'm probably going to do it again. Hopefully I want to do it again with Mega. So yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Dope. Let's see here. Family reunion planning. Got that going on now.
Okay.
Apparently, you know, I'm old enough and, you know, wise enough to sit there and plan for a family reunion. I did not. You ever do things and you realize that, oh shit, I'm an adult and doing adult things now.
Yeah.
Like driving a car or planning family reunions. Like, this is a thing this is my life now.
I mean, I'm trying to change the oil in a riding lawnmower, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely a thing that's happening. But outside of that, I am debating on whether or not I want to do daytime streams now. I don't know.
Do it.
I mean, you say that, but then my wife is like, well, look, we need to earn some money somehow. I'm like, well, is more of the money during daytime streaming than it is at nighttime streaming? Maybe. I don't know. How much of this can I really do? And at least if I do it during the day, there's not as many distractions. I can have my nights again. So there's that.
Like I'm already watching, Kevy Kev's videos with the AirPods in my ear while I'm attending a meeting in the other ear. So go for it. I'll be there.
But see, then I'm competing with Kevy Kev.
Not competing with me. And look, there are people who are legit day streamers, and I'm out here. So I just appreciate you guys showing up, because days are the only reason why mornings is good is because I get sleepy at nights.
Maybe I should put like a picture-in-picture and just like put Kev stream like in the corner. So look, thanks for coming. Look, just for you being here. Here's Kevy Kev stream just off to the side. If he's doing something exciting, you can turn over there, but please come back.
Are you going to do a Wednesday watch party of Kev's Wednesday watch party?
Oh my god.
Watchception. Wow. Watching the watch party. Wow.
So this is what I would do different here if I was actually watching this YouTube video. See, yeah, I'm like this right here. Look, it's not the best. This is not an optimal setup. I see what he's going for, but like he can push just a little bit more. He can just get deeper into that topic instead of just randomly switching to hardware Canucks out of this food truck video. Like it's a little messy. It's a little messy of a transition. It's just a little messy transition, but you see what he's going for. You have to appreciate it.
Right, because I can literally drop in like I have like 3 1 hour like on the playlist. I have like 3 1 hour stream like videos of like food. You trust me, you need to have those breaks of like we were the way what was it, 40,
what I want to reviews? Figure out is I want the telestrator. That's all I want is a telestrator that way I can just draw on the screen what I am talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I have not seen a good implementation of that yet.
Okay.
But yeah, outside of that, I mean, yeah, there's still more Witcher being played. Let's see, I finally finished Ace Combat, so now I'm like, yeah, I'm just focusing on Witcher now. Except for when I'm going to bed at night and I'm playing Brotato. I know there's DLC for Vampire Survivor, but I think I've now hit a wall with Vampire Survivor. Where it's like, I'm not doing the try hard enough to where it's like I'm unlocking things that I need to unlock to progress. So it's like, you know what? This isn't fun now, because now I'm sitting there trying to do it. I can't do it. My brain's not figuring it out. Let me just go and move over to Brotato. At least there, I feel like I'm making some progress.
The game's not clear enough about what it takes to unlock.
Yeah, that's what it. And that's kind of what that is. Like,
yeah, and I hate going to like the wikis or whatever, but I was just like, look, I just want to complete this page. Let me unlock this thing, and I would go and look at it and see what I needed to do. But it's like, for such a simple game to be so confusing sometimes, I'm just like, how do I beat this thing, or how do I get past it? There's just no clue. Or at least the clue is going so far above my head that I was never going to get it.
Yeah, thank you, YouTuber who is or maybe formerly known as Jim Sterling. I can't remember if they changed their name or not.
Definitely Sterling.
Oh, okay, thank you. They wrote I think they were one of the writers in that game, so thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Just made it complicated, convoluted, confusing. But I still love it though. Love you. But yeah, outside of that, I think there's nothing. It's just nice, quiet weekend. Contemplating future content endeavors. Hopefully meeting up with with a new client. Oh, and by the way, my son says he wants to be a YouTuber, and I don't know how to feel about that. Actually, I do. I told him, you wait till you're a little bit older, but he has an idea. Like he knows he needs a camera, and he wants to show his games on his tabby to kids, so that way they know what they're doing.
Isn't this a perfect reason to deploy a PeerTube? A lockdown private PeerTube that he can access and something he could show his friends personally, but doesn't go anywhere?
So he would need access to a browser, and that's one thing I am refusing to teach him right now.
Gotcha.
Like he's found his way to regular YouTube, but mainly because he clicks on an ad in a game and it takes him to the Safari browser, and then it'll take him to YouTube to show the video, and that's how he watches regular YouTube. I'm like, from there, how did you get here?
The sandbox.
Yeah, he broke out, and I was like, okay, we got things to do now. But yeah, I'm trying to keep him contained within his apps for as long as I can. But yeah, like once he starts venturing out, we'll see where that goes.
There's always iMovie.
I guess I could download that. No, I'm not doing that. Because there have been many a time we call him on FaceTime. I did teach him FaceTime. And I'll call him on FaceTime and he is in the bathroom. And he puts the tabby down.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Not until he can learn to leave the tabby outside of the bathroom, but he's got to watch his YouTube videos just like mommy and daddy watch our videos. So children, they're amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's going to do it for us this evening. Thank you, Merge, for joining us. Is there anything you would like to plug before we head up out of here?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll drop the name of the site. You can view me at platformgoblin.com. That's my new website. Will be a YouTube channel associated with that. And again, we'll be doing some apps and some content against there, and more hopefully next week. When I have the Mastodon service fully configured and up and running. Oh, there we go. There's the website. Thank you. So yeah, check it out. Love to hear feedback on what you would like to see, or if there's anything that you would change there. But yeah, hit me up there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, it's been a joy. Thank you for joining us again, Merge. Next week we should hopefully have Sin back. East Coast Sin back. I feel every time I feel like I have something and I don't know why. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursday for April 13th, 2023. On behalf of Merge, on behalf of Sin, on behalf of Anka, on behalf of it's your boy Kevin the building. I have been your host Marcus Major Lennox Summers, aka the Grandmaster of IT, aka your favorite streamer's favorite IT guy. They just don't know it yet, so I need you to tell them. Tell them the good word. There's a guy out here, Major Lennox. He's building sites. He's trying to give people the personal corner of the internet. Look, we talked about it. It's how we are moved. This is how we should move to create safe communities for all of the people who enjoy our content. Tell them, so look, you ain't gotta run it. You just need to mod it. You just need to admit it. Major Linux will handle that for you. He'll handle the heavy lifting. You can ask the platform goblin himself. Merge conflict is what I do.
Co-sign this,
baby. Little do y'all know, before the cookout collapsed, I was doing it for them. I got the experience, baby. We can do this. Majorshouse.com is where you need to go to find me, how you can contact me so we can get it done. We can get it working for you. But until then, you all could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading tech, gaming, streaming, nudge yourself, but you said no, thank you. If NPR and PBS aren't going to be on Twitter, I'm not going to be on Twitter either. And we're going to get the news from you. And for that, I say thank you. And all I've got left to say to you wonderful people is I love you. And peace. Ha!
Wakanda forever.
Bye, y'all.